Yeah,
Like he always
that's
he
my
calls.
grandmother says that too.
Yeah, my cousin goes like Elon,
Yeah,
like Elon. Is that what you're
yeah,
talking about, dude? How about rivalry week this week? Elon goes down into the William&Mary. IUP loses the slip. Like,
yeah.
dude, terrible.
Tough,
But
tough, tough.
uh, Pine Richland beat North Allegheny in high school football 67 to nothing.
Yeah,
Mm.
dude. Do you know what
Dude,
was? You know it was 50. It
67
was like 56 nothing at half,
at half. We were up
and they were
50 at
running.
half.
Dude, they were up like 42 nothing, and they were running double passes. Like apparently, he was just running it up.
NA is like, dude, our bitter rival, Art Walker. He's the head coach. Like, dude, such an egotistical prick. Gets beat 67 to nothing. They were 7-1 coming into that game. Both teams were 7-1.
How about did
The
you
Rams.
see I don't know who the Rams were playing, but it was like one of the Whitfield teams they played was
Fox Chapel.
yeah.
And they were
And
like,
the
can we
like
just
coach, yeah, can we
shorten
have
the
a running
game?
clock? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's where
insane.
my mom went to high school. They're like
Yeah.
really soft.
You
I'm
know,
Coming
like
from a
bad
that's
at
guy
sports.
that was on a high school football team that lost a lot of football games, like if you're not the better team, like you don't fucking cop out like that. Like you
it,
go if you're gonna get
right.
your ass kicked, like go play the game and like
Yeah.
just
Get
yeah, like
better.
if you get
Like,
your ass kicked, you get your ass kicked. If you play well, like
there's
just
a
play the
shot.
football game. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
What a
like
shame. That's such a
that's
shame.
insane. And
And
that coming from the top, like I couldn't even fathom a head football coach like being scared of a team like that. That's
yeah,
crazy.
insane. Insane. But
That I will say, just to keep the topic on PIAA football right
how the
now.
KLI's looking?
There might be a 5A clash coming our
Ooh.
way
Dude, the
between
might have to be boots on
the
ground.
Caholites and the Rams.
They might have the pod might have
We're
to be
looking
boots on.
pretty good.
What's this? What's your
Speaking of
record?
boots on ground, Charlie,
I
are
think we're
you? Do you guys have a game Thanksgiving weekend?
Depends.
I think
Because
we're
I just got PTO for Monday after Thanksgiving because we're gonna go to the Steelers Bills that Sunday at Thanksgiving.
Dude, I probably it depends on if we make the playoffs. We play Cal this week. It's a big game.
And then I was probably gonna go to Pitt, Miami that weekend too.
Oh wow, back-to-back games at Heinz or Acrisure. I'm not calling it
Yeah, I
Acrisure.
don't really
Corporate
know
ass
either.
Acrisure. Yeah, we just said we if we make the playoff, we'll probably have a game. But Dusko, how the KLA's looking by the way?
5-3, but
Uh
we've lost two national schedule games. So
who?
we lost to DeMatha and Providence Day.
Oh, dude,
So like
yeah. The
Providence
math
Day,
is
like huge, like Charlotte, good team.
yeah.
DeMatha, everyone knows DeMatha.
Maryland, yeah.
So like
We got two Dematha kids on Elon. I mean at
we
IUP.
have
They're
we
nasty.
have one loss in the state of Pennsylvania. So and we
Who?
beat LaSalle, who beat St. Joe's Prep. So like it's a mosh pit in the PCL this year.
Who'd you lose to from Philly?
We lost to St. Joe's Prep by one in
Oh,
double
dude. Oh,
OT.
okay. So you're like a
Yeah.
top team in the state.
But like both of the best teams in Philly are in 6A and we're in 5A. So
Yeah. It's actually
we're setting up nicely on the East Coast bracket.
the West Coast actually 5A is better than 6A
Yeah,
for the West, but except Central Catholic is like they're 6A, so
they're
they're really good.
6A.
They're good in 6A. We lost to
They're
Central, and
better.
then
They beat us.
but dude, I don't know if they're better than us, but they did beat us,
But the moral of the story,
It
we
was
could be
week
on a
one.
5A championship collision
dude.
course.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Boots on ground in
Boots on
Hershey.
ground in Hershey.
I
Oh
don't
no,
even
wait,
know.
don't they
Yeah, they
play it at
don't
the
even play
corporate?
it.
They
They
play it in
didn't
like
play it in Hershey
Hollidaysburg,
No,
last
they
year.
moved it.
Yeah.
It's not at
like
Hershey anymore.
Yeah,
Chambersburg.
that's a
Yeah, it's so
crime.
sad. It's such a
That's such a
crime.
crime. Yeah, we're ranked 76 nationally. That's got to be our
What
highest
are the
ranking.
Rams ranked nationally?
Let's find out. We're ranked third in the state of Pennsylvania. That's also
What are the
going to be
Rams
our highest
ranked?
ranking. I'm looking it up. I'm on
We
maxpreps.com
got
right
to be
now.
like we're probably
I
like
haven't been on
fourth in
this
the
website
state.
in a while.
Charlie, have you noticed the Pens have matte black helmets now?
For good?
I don't really like
Yeah, I'm
them at
not a
Ooh,
huge.
all.
Heinrichsville Rams are 8-1.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yes.
You guys are ranked 175th nationally, seventh in the state of PA.
Dude, that is criminal.
Let's see
That's
who's
Well,
ranked
so
because
ahead.
dude,
criminal.
they
Let's see
like
the
have
Pennsylvania
played like two
rankings.
good teams.
True, true. Our rank. We got to
What's
play them.
PTHS?
Penn
Peters
Trafford.
Peters
Township.
Township.
Oh, PTHS is good. They're really good.
They're 9
Wait,
and
which
0.
PT?
Malvern
What's their
Preps.
record or what's their
9-0.
logo?
It's like
It's Peter Township. They're
it is
9 and
Peters
0.
Township.
Yeah, they're really
Central
good.
Catholics 8-1. They're 4. Roman Catholics 5-3. They're 3. St. Joe's Preps 4-4. They're 2. And then LaSalle College High School 7-1 with one loss to Roman Catholic is number one.
Also, Duska, actually fair that I'm glad they're rewarding Roman for playing good teams. Because
Yeah.
like Pine has to play some terrible teams. So
We
I'm
also,
glad.
I will say, like the top three teams in the state, like each one. It's like however transitive property works. Like each was beat one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We're
like,
yeah. Pine needs to beat Peters, and then that'll probably
when
skyrocket
do
us.
they play them?
They don't play Peters until Whitfield.
They'll play the
Whitfield's.
Louisville Championship probably, and that'll be a
Yeah.
huge game.
We play MBAP. Do you know MBAP, Chuck? You texted me about them the one week.
Bonner, Monsieur
Monsignor
Bonner.
Bonner, Archbishop Prendergast.
Woo!
Yeah.
Dude, yeah,
It's a big game this week.
Monsieur Bonner. We got IEP's got a Monsieur
Dude,
Bonner camp.
shoot.
Oh, you guys don't play Peters Township.
No, we play in the Whitfield Championship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like if in order for us to make a deep run, we'll have to play them.
Yeah,
Unless they like lose.
Pyrisman's like side of 5A is bad, and then the other side is good. It's like Upper St. Clair, Peters, Bethel. They're all good. So like they all just beat up on each other, and then PR just like skates through.
IEP's got a
Did
bad
you
reputation.
did you play the Mike linebacker from William and Mary played at Upper St. Clair, and
What's his
he's like
name?
our year.
What's his name?
Branberry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know that
Number
kid? He's a good
what's
football
what's his
player.
number at? What's his number at William Mary?
William Mary 4.
Gotcha. He was like I think he was like
He was
25.
solid. He has
Yeah,
he has the most tackles on their team.
yeah. I get that. Yeah, can we do you want to start this thing up?
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Get your game face on. We're ready to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 13th episode of the Forward Pass Pod. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a jam-packed show for you today. College football is filled with wonders and tradition, and every once in a while, it gives us a natural wonder of the world. What might that be, you ask? It's Volcanic Saturday. What's Volcanic Saturday, you might ask? A Volcanic Saturday is any given Saturday in the fall where far too many ranked teams lose. It's a magical Saturday where every time you check on the scores, you say, what the heck, insert team name is losing. And then you repeat that phrase 7 times. So that was pretty volcanic because we saw a lot of really good football teams lose. Here is just the amount of ranked teams that lost on the day of October 17th and 18th, 2025, week 8. This is the graveyard. Number 2, Miami fell to Louisville. Number 25, Nebraska fell to Minnesota. Shout out Josh Pate for sticking with the Huskers. Number 10, LSU fell to Vandy. Number 5, Ole Miss fell to Georgia. Number 22, Memphis fell to UAB. Number 7, Texas Tech falls to Arizona State. Number 11, Tennessee falls to Bama. Number 20, USC falls to Notre Dame. And number 23, Utah loses to BYU. What a wonderful sport we get to cover and talk about. So without further ado, I'm going to list some of the topics we'll be covering on this podcast today. We've got Billy Napier gone from Florida. We've got Miami losing at home to the Fighting Gus Wymards. We've got Georgia beating Ole Miss in a battle of 2 perennial playoff contenders, as it looks right now. Vanderbilt looked great at home, and the atmosphere in Nashville is going through a seismic shift. Clark Lay is building something of great meaning in Vanderbilt. Texas Tech goes down to Arizona State. Sam Leavitt was spectacular, and the Red Raiders are now no longer in control of their own destiny in the Big 12 championship picture. Poor Auburn couldn't get out of its own way, losing to Missouri at home in double OT. The pod may have to do some backtracking on Utah because BY took them down in a pretty good football game, but the pod was pretty high in Utah, and they are not coming through. We have a super dog. We have a running back of the week. We have a mid-season playoff bracket due to next week's slate being, average at best. Still a great sport. It's probably going to have some entertainment. We have a Sam Perry State of the Union. Plus, we have a special guest coming on the pod. It's unconfirmed, but be on the lookout. So,
Ooh, I'm excited.
that's what we got in store today. We're going to start first with Billy Napier being fired from Florida. Not all that shocking. Not all that shocking at all. We did have Caden Martinez on here in the pod, our known Florida fan, to kind of go through some of the things that happened in Florida this year. They were pretty underwhelming. Billy Napier, known by this podcast as Sunbelt Billy by some, Caleb Archer. Sunbelt Billy went 22-23 in his record. He was 12-16 in the SEC play. He had 55 total games. 22 of those were against ranked opponents. So Florida played a gauntlet pretty much every year. They did go 5-17 against ranked opponents. And when your side of the ball is the side of the ball that's struggling and you are the play caller, it's really easy to come to this conclusion that you're probably going to lose your job. Florida has unlimited resources. They've poured a lot into this program. They expect better. Um, we'll get into the names that are being floated around there, i.e. Lane Kiffin. But, this wasn't very shocking. Do you guys have your quick thoughts on Billy Napier?
Yeah, a lot more predictable than the Franklin firing, I thought, especially after the horrific start to the season, especially the USF and LSU games. Those were complete botches. LSU was asking to be beaten by Florida in that game where Lagway threw 5 picks and they refused to run the ball. And I think Napier deserves a lot of credit for the way they closed out last year, but there were discussions early in the season about the same things that were going wrong this year, and those are for good reason as well. So credit to him for coming back, and I think they won their last 4 games last year, but it's really not that surprising. Um, and he seems like a good guy. And he's proven he can have success as a head coach in college football. So I'm sure this isn't the last we'll hear of him, but 22-23 overall record in that's just never going to cut it for a Florida program with expectations a lot higher than that. So really, like we've been saying, not very surprising that it happened.
Yeah, agreed. Not really surprising at all, especially with the amount of resources and top tier facilities and expectations that Florida has year in and year out. But I think this really boiled down to his inability to adapt to his flaws, and that showed at points last year with a middling offense. And then looks like some reports came out that Strickland asked him to give up play calling duties and to hire a real OC, and he refused to do that and continued to remain the play caller. And with another struggling offense and a slow start to the season, not much you can do. It looked like they were basically said at the beginning of the season, you're either going 9-3 or you're out. And obviously now there's zero chance they can go 9-3. So they should have their pick of the litter in the coaching search. I think that actually this is probably the most intriguing job on the market over Penn State. So we'll probably get into this a little bit later, but I think that they should be able to get whoever they want.
Caleb?
Yeah, I don't think it's all too surprising. Honestly, now I just hate the decision that they made last year to keep him on. Because I feel like it was a kind of a temporary solution last year. Like the 4 wins are great. You made a bowl, like resurgence, Lagway looked great. But when you go into a season on such like thin ice, I feel like you only set yourself up for failure. And then after game 2, when you lose the USF and your AD has to put out like a statement backing Billy Napier after your second game of the season, I just don't think like if it took one loss to USF to really like, which I think which is a really good team now we see. I think one loss like that, like changing the tide where that's going to happen, was he really safe to begin with? So like I said, I hate that they brought him back. I hate that they brought him back, and I hate that they didn't fire him last year. If it just took a few losses, it took a loss to USF and then losses that they like should have, like they weren't surprising like losses, and then you fire him after a win like against Mississippi State. I'm not saying it's a great win. I just don't understand I don't understand the thing around it, but I think it definitely makes sense and it was time, but I hate the way they went about it last year, keeping him on, because now you're kind of in a state of flux. But I mean, they're going to have their pick of, like Sam said, it's going to be the best job on the market. Interested to see who they call and who says no. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it all.
One of the best jobs in the country opening up. Whether they poach Lane Kiffin from Ole Miss, that's to be seen. Obviously, everybody on the internet, all the reputable reporters are saying like it's probably Lane Kiffin. So, dude, the ball's kind of in Lane's court. It's tough to pass up this job. This is one of the elite jobs in college football, resource wise. Now, I don't think it's the like S tier, but I do think it is A tier. It's not Texas, it's not Alabama, not Ohio State, but that next tier of your Michigans, your USCs, your other SECs like maybe like your Auburn.
A&M.
yeah, Auburn, A&M, Florida's in that conversation. So
I'm interested to see how Ole Miss and how Lane reacts to all this because I feel like in just the past few days, it's really heating up because when like everyone knew that he was going to be fired and it kind of felt like, oh, it's Lane's job if he wants it, but it was kind of brushed under the rug. Now it feels like, I don't know, just from being online the last 2 days, there's a lot more validity to the Lane talk. So I'm interested to see if he makes any sort of statement and or how this affects Ole Miss going forward, just with how recruiting has changed. And if Ole Miss wants to make a run in the playoff, it's going to be in the latter half of December. So I'm really interested to see how the rest of the season plays out on the Ole Miss side as his name keeps being tossed around in um, these coaching talks.
Yeah, and I think it's important for him too, because it's not the first time that his name has been tossed around, I feel like. And I trust him in these situations to be able to keep his guys' focus away from that. And obviously it's a complex decision personally. And ideally, I hope Lane stays at Ole Miss. I think it'd be cool if they can commit to giving him the resources that he thinks he needs to compete for national championships every year. Because it kind of there, I feel like Ole Miss is talked about in the same realm as sort of like a Penn State, where it's like they're going to consistently be good, but they're not always going to be a reload team where year in and year out they have superstar NFL guys that will put them in the national championship picture. It's going to be like those 2 3 year swings where you have to develop more guys, and then you'll have like every few years you'll have a team that's built for the big stage. So I hope that I don't know if Ole Miss is capable of that, and obviously Florida geographically has its advantages as well. But ideally, it would be cool if he could stay at Ole Miss and keep building there.
I
But
also
we'll
I want
see.
to make one quick point where this might get rocky, and I wrote about this in like a Substack article back in April, talking about how Kevin Willard had to him leaving Maryland in college basketball and going to Villanova while like he's playing for a national championship. He's in the Sweet 16, yet he has to take a job pretty much and also try and recruit kids in the portal because the portal is literally happening as there's still basketball being played. Well, we're going to see that if Ole Miss makes a deep run. And that's going to be really weird because if Ole Miss is still playing football by January and the portal is like open and he wants to take that Florida job and they have an offer in place, like what is he supposed to do? Because is the spring portal banned or no?
Yeah.
I
So
think so.
Starting next year.
Yeah, this
okay.
year.
So if the spring portal's gone, like you have one portal cycle to get anybody you need, everybody you need, and like it's so impossible to do that. Like when you're trying to win a national championship, and it's just gonna be a really weird situation. Like I just wonder, like, is he gonna have to put somebody else as like the sitting head coach of Florida till he's like done at Ole Miss? Because like they're gonna have to get their recruiting done. You know what I'm saying? Like how weird is that? How
Well,
weird
I
is that
think
gonna
from
be?
from an Ole Miss side too, it would be just horrible if
Oh,
reports came out that Lane was going to Florida, and then say they're in a playoff situation,
they're
like
in
it's
a
the first
playoff
round or
game,
something. Yeah,
and like
they have a
he's
playoff
trying to
game, but
galvanize the
but
group.
guys know Lane's leaving too. So who knows what the players on that team, how they respond to that too? Will they be like, will
It's
they
not
enter the
fair to them.
portal? Yeah. Or
Yeah,
are they
it's
gonna
not fair
are
to
their
them.
underclassmen gonna enter the portal while Ole Miss is in the playoff picture and like potentially opt out of playoff games? Like that's a scenario I
This might get so bad that like legislation gets passed quickly. Like it might get that bad because you're
Al-
so right, Duska. Like what? What are they supposed to do?
yeah.
Also, in the past, like this is very similar to when he left Tennessee after 1 year to USC. We all know how that went. So I think that is another thing probably making this decision as tough on him because he learned from his mistake one time, leaving what was a good situation for what looks like a better one, and then he quickly found out the grass isn't greener, and that kind of derailed his early career. So I'm interested to see how much that plays into his current decision.
Are there any other names that you guys are intrigued by for the Florida job?
Franklin. Intrigued by Franklin. maybe Golish. I'm pretty intrigued by Alex Golish too.
I think Golish is the most intriguing to me.
Because Golish is where you keep there. That's the highest percentage Lagway stays at Florida. If you get the QB whisperer and he has a track record of like being a good play caller.
And that's what Florida needs. They need someone to get the offense going there. Because I was listening to McShay earlier, and the point was basically in Florida, when you're recruiting that state, you'll always be able to find the defensive studs. Like your defense is always going to be solid as long as you're a good recruiter.
Big.
And you can just bring in a solid DC. You don't need a head coach with innovative defensive tactics. So the thing that you really want to focus on there, because you'll have all that talent defensively, is getting the offense going and finding a guy that can develop a quarterback and make an explosive offense go, and instilling in the guys that are there right now, like the Lagways, like the Dallas Wilsons, that he has a plan for you and you're going to be fine with this guy as your head coach.
Yeah, Franklin would be a little more of like I think he'd be like a better version of what Billy Napier was because he is like an offensive guy, but he's a CEO, so he doesn't call plays. So he's not reliant on his play calling to like move the team forward like Billy was. I do think, yeah, Lane Kiffin and Alex Golish are kind of the archetype you're talking about, Dusko, where they're
Franklin
probably
seems
looking
like
at that.
such an uninspiring hire for Florida, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. But I do think he's a good football coach.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's definitely a program builder, but that's not.
What they're trying to
Yeah,
establish.
I feel like that shouldn't be the focus as much for
I
Florida
agree.
in
I
this
think it'll be
cycle.
Golish or Lane
Yeah.
Kiffin if I
But
was.
Golish is also a program builder, but he
Yeah.
also has the play calling aspect. So that's you get best of both worlds with him.
Yes. Well, you get, and then obviously Golish, Lane Kiffin is like Golish in 20 years.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
he's like
Yeah.
he's a stud. So are you guys okay with moving on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. Well, we've got a fun Friday. It was actually a really fun Friday because we saw Miami lose to Louisville. And then we saw I couldn't even keep it a secret, guys. And then we saw
Us. Come on, baby.
what an entertaining Friday night. Gus Wymard is here to discuss the Miami Louisville, my bad. You know I would never do the Louisville. I would never do
It's
that.
all good, Chuck.
Yeah. The Louisville win at Miami. So impressive to go into Hard Rock Stadium and do that. As the Cards fan of this podcast, the best friend of this podcast in Cards land, how you feeling?
Still fired up. Derby City's still on fire. M Street. Sam stopped by there a few times, but they were burning couches. Power lines were going out. Just a few blocks from Churchill Downs. Place is going crazy. But yeah, Miller Moss post game, like you said, in their crib. He was talking about Ivan Drago, Rocky IV, going into Russia when Rocky goes in there. If he dies, he dies. The guards don't die. Come on. But
That-
just electric stuff. Still so fired up.
Dude, that was sick. That was truly Jeff Brom program defining win for the Cards.
Jeff Brom masterclass. Who was I listening? I was listening to him on one podcast. He was talking. Well, one, he's 4-2 against top 5 teams, and his 2 losses are Big Ten championship against Michigan when he was with Purdue, and then the other one's the ACC championship against Florida State. This guy's a winner, and I know you guys talk about Josh Pate. He mentioned it today too. He was like, "Why is this guy not in the talks with all these firings?" He's like, "Well, one, you're talking about the wrong guy. That's a Louisville alum. He's there to stay, boys. He's there. He's there to stay."
I didn't know he's an alum. That's sick.
Oh yeah. You ever seen the video of him when he got his head knocked off and he comes back? Is this or is this not the XFL? Do I or do I not have a pulse? Let's play football.
That's him?
Let's play football, Chuck.
That was him?
Yeah, that's him. He was a
Dude,
QB at
that's
Louisville.
sick. I didn't even know that. Dude,
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. That's what an awesome win. Do you guys have any pressing notes on this game? Because I had a couple. Yeah, I had a couple pressing notes.
Go ahead.
Well, dude, first off, Isaac Brown running for 7.5 yards a carry. Like, dude, that was really impressive. That's really impressive to do on the Miami front that was so stout all year. And that's kudos to the O-line. That's kudos to Jeff Brom. That's kudos to Isaac Brown. Kudos to Miller Moss. I thought Miller Moss, like, I thought what he did in that game was like so impressive. And a lot of it was short throws under 3 seconds. But dude, Bill Walsh, legendary coach for the 49ers, he literally coined the West Coast offense. Like the offense pretty much everybody runs nowadays was Bill Walsh. He says yards after catch, so yak, yards after catch. Yards after catch equals timing and ball placement. And Miller Moss's timing and ball placement was unbelievable all night, which allowed Bell, number 0, who's fabulous, to get loose. Like the ball was on time, it was in stride, and then that allowed the athleticism to take over. So there weren't a lot of throws Miller Moss made where you were like, wow, like there weren't a ton of wow throws. It was just a lot of on script, deliver the football on time to the right guy in stride. And I thought that was just wonderfully impressive because we saw another guy on the opposite side of the field who's probably a better quarterback, way more talented than Miller Moss, Carson Beck, who's getting like first round draft grades, throw 4 picks and try to be a hero on every play. And
Five
he was,
picks.
huh?
5.
Yeah, five
Yeah.
picks. Dude,
Good
he was,
call,
Nonsense
Luke.
roughing the passer
yeah,
call.
that was so
Great. It
nonsense.
That was
wasn't even a
insane.
flag,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
That was
No,
horrendous.
but ball don't lie. Like
Yeah.
the craziest ball don't
Yeah.
lie moment. But yeah, he was like pushing the ball down the field when like there was just no need. And Miller Moss didn't try to do that. And Miller Moss, he threw some picks early in the year. Um, James Madison, I believe, and then
Hit.
Pitt, yeah, he threw some bad pick. But I think as like he's progressing into this offense, like him and Jeff Brom are definitely finding the chemistry. And Jeff Brom is like known as a QB whisperer, like quarterback guru guy. So it's been pretty cool to see Miller Moss like flourish like that. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's
Completely agree. I think it, like you said, I think it goes back to Brom. Miller Moss completely did his job. Get rid of the ball quick. That D line is gonna swallow us up. Like you can't compete with that just head to head every single play. They're gonna kill us. Get rid of the ball quick, do your job. Isaac Brown dealing with a few injuries. He was shooting out of a goddamn cannon
he was.
quick. And then you mentioned my guy, Chris Bell.
Oh,
You want a little nugget for the pod?
yeah, let's hear it.
He's one of the few Louisville players, part of a product of the Gus Wymard recruiting era.
Wow.
Yep, yep, yep. I remember being in the facilities, touring that kid around in the family. But yeah, absolute stud.
Good family.
Uh,
Nice family.
great family, Mississippi family, great family.
Nice.
Um, that dude's gonna do damage on Sundays. Um,
It's a first round pick.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Great
sick.
He's
player.
he's up there. He's like top 5 in stats right now. Maybe a little outside of 5, but he's electric. And then who else?
Dude,
But yeah,
your
the
defense.
defense, yes. And this is the other thing. Like Carson Beck, he's a player. Miami's going to be fine, but Miami didn't just lose that game. We went out there and won. Like
Yeah.
the 5 picks, like they weren't crap throws. Like our DBs went out there and made plays.
Yeah.
If you watch those plays, like they're
That
making
last pick,
plays.
dude. That
Oh
last
my,
pick.
Yeah, that I
Franco,
thought DB
immaculate.
didn't get enough credit on the broadcast for that interception.
Dude, that was
Absolutely.
insane. I thought it hit the
Yeah.
ground alive. I was like, oh, it hit the ground.
Unbelievable. But yeah, we were making plays both sides of the ball. I mean, they played lights out and they needed to. So it
Yeah.
it all worked out.
Also,
I thought Louisville's
sorry, go ahead, Sam.
So I thought Louisville's resilience, like when they jumped on him quick, which was a little bit expected. I thought just because like you're playing up juice early on in this game, but like their resilience when Miami came back, were able to just stay in that dogfight the whole time. A lot of credit to Jeff Brom in that game plan. And like you said, Gus, like the best way to beat a pass rush that you're probably not gonna be able to stop is by getting the ball out really quick and just not letting those guys tee off by just staying in the pocket the whole time. So yeah, that was great. Quick question for you guys. How much substance do you put into that? I don't know if you saw the Beck post game press conference. He's getting kind of lit up for it, um, talking about his receiver running the wrong route, and a lot of people gave him slack for that. I personally didn't think that it was that bad. He was just saying it how it was, and I think that gets a lot of media hate for correct reasons. But I don't know what you guys thought about that.
I just think in general, a quarterback shouldn't. The job of the quarterback is to lead the offense and lead the team in general. And you win as a team, lose a team, especially as a QB. Like that's the position everyone looks to after a loss like that. And you can't, you never want to point out and isolate an individual like that in a press conference, especially as the QB and like leader of the team. I'm never a fan of that.
Especially when your decision making was spotty at best.
Yeah, he should have
Exactly.
just said, we should never been in this position in the first place. I
Yeah.
take this, I take responsibility. And it just felt like he was playing hero ball the whole time.
It's
And he was trying
also
to
literally
just pad his stats for Heisman.
the first time Miami's faced adversity this year. It's like you immediately go to blaming and like aren't taking accountability or responsibility for your performance. You're like pointing out someone else in the press conference.
Also, they're talking about that last pick, right, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, on that play, so the back ended up turning this way. Beck thought he was going to run instead of running like a drag route, he thought he was going to run a wide route, which is where he would turn into the quarterback, right? But either way, it was not open. Like that guy was on that angle either way. And so maybe
I
it wouldn't
agree.
have been an interception, but it would have been like a bang bang like catch. The guy gets drilled. So it
Someone
wasn't like
staring at him the whole time.
yeah, so it wasn't like it's ripe to be like to blame. But I haven't seen the clips. I'm not going to act like him. But I'm just saying I know exactly what he's talking about. But
I mean, also that play, like, I don't think the result matters that much because they were intending just to get a few more yards for the field goal. I mean, there was only like 30 seconds left, so they weren't gonna like that. Also, like, I think a lot of people just want to like do gotcha with Beck. Like, I mean, like people don't like him already as like a figure. So whenever they can like nitpick something like that, like I don't think he should have said it. I also don't think it's that big of a deal. He was like just calling it how it is. I also think last year's like issues with Georgia, whenever receivers run wrong routes and then he would get blamed. I think that kind of has to do with him, like, I guess just defending himself because like he got hell last year from like media and all like that. There's one specific clip where people were thinking that it was like a receiver ran a wrong route, Georgia, and that people grilled him and he took it on the chin because like I think if he would have said something like that, Kirby would have had his ass. But like I think since he's at Miami, I think that influences, but I also don't think it's that big of a deal. Like I just think it was him just like calling it how it is, like Luke said. But I also don't think he should have said it. But he's also like immature. Everybody knows that.
But also, like,
it's not a shock.
Dusky, did you have something like about the football game that you wanted to say before?
I was just gonna say, so we talked about. I just want to give more credit to the defense because we talked about the 4 picks, DBs making awesome plays, and a big part of that too. And there's been no other team that's done it to Miami yet. They held them to 63 yards rushing to 2.6 a carry. So that's putting the quarterback in positions where he's trying to press and make big plays, and that's where you're gonna see more of those turnover worthy throws and more turnovers in general. So I just wanted to give a little more credit to Louisville matching up to. I thought this is the best O line in the country and matching up to them physically and stopping the run like that. They deserve huge credit.
Love it, Duska. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing about the game, I think that one was kind of a get right spot for Louisville's offense, which is kind of shocking against probably the best defense they've played this year. Because there was just something off. Like, I don't know, like if you felt the same, Gus. Like watching their JMU game, like I watched that entire one. They shouldn't have won by 14. Like, but their offenses had like their pass game just seemed like it was off, and there was not like not a mesh yet. And then like the Pitt game, they got gifted that one. We've talked about that before.
Oh, for sure.
And then Virginia, like they just like there was something that when you don't know like how to describe it, but it just felt like they were off like chemistry wise with the offense, and it was just a kind of like hero ball whenever Brown would like break like a 75-yard run. So I thought it was awesome to see like the offense actually look somewhat like a formidable, like against like probably the best opponent they're going to play this year. So I thought that was inspiring because I liked Louisville a lot preseason, and I like Miller Moss, and it was good to see. I think that was probably Miller Moss's best game he's played so far. at Louisville. So I think that was good for them, and it's going to be interesting to see how their schedule unfolds the rest of the year. Because I mean, when you look at it, I mean, you got a few losable games, obviously, but you only have one loss in the ACC right now, and you can run the table and make it to Charlotte for second time in 3 or 4 years.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is I mean, Clemson's always going to be tough at home, even though they're not doing too hot, but at SMU is going to give us some problems.
That's also
And
gonna
then,
that's like a huge game in the ACC in general because
right.
SMU's undefeated in the ACC and Louisville's one loss. And
Yep.
so it's like right now I think the rankings are like Georgia Tech. I was looking at it today. It's Georgia Tech, Virginia, SMU, and then it's a bunch of one-loss teams. It's like Duke, Louisville, Pitt, Miami. So like, dude, that's getting a pivotal game because it's crazy that Miami does not control their own destiny in the ACC championship, and they actually need a decent amount of help. Like, they need a Georgia Tech loss. They need Louisville to lose again because you guys have the tiebreaker. They can't have any more than one undefeated, and they need like a bunch of teams to lose. Like, so it's kind of it's weird. It's super weird. Louisville's actually, I think, fourth in the odds market and they're not that far off. I believe they're plus like 400 or something. I was looking at it today.
Louisville's plus 850,
To
plus
win it?
550.
Yeah, okay,
It's
550.
Georgia Tech, Miami, UVA, Louisville, SMU, Duke, Pitt.
Yeah. But
Those are the only
it's
teams
a
with odds.
precipitous drop off after Louisville.
After SMU.
Well, I mean, I guess we can count SMU, but they're still plus 850. Like, they're still a decent amount of ways away
Yeah.
from Louisville.
But then Duke and Pitt have the
Yeah.
big drop off, which
But Louisville was in my
Oh, that's
ACC championship prediction game, and I thought that was dead, and could be alive. It could be
Don't
very
give
much
up
alive.
on the cards.
And
Don't give up on the cards.
especially, I had Clemson in the championship, and we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, I remember first step, everybody was high up on Clemson, but I mean,
We don't talk about that anymore.
We don't
can't
talk about
blame
the
you.
first episode. Yeah, we don't talk about the first episode. That was our
Art,
trial run.
Arch, you're not doing too hot on the Super Dogs. You plan on joining the rest of the squad there?
Oh, I stick to the pick'em.
Yeah.
I just had a lot
Arch
of
runs the
unfortunate
pick'em.
breaks. I just have a lot of unfortunate breaks, you know.
He also does the
Picking-
thing where he decides like he's going to put money on Boston College. That's like his
Well,
his
we
flaw.
don't-
Well, I hope not this week.
No, because the Cardinals are probably going to beat him by 100.
All righty.
I mean, yeah, that was just like that was like everything we love about college football all in like one, like a Friday night game too. Like, it's supposed to be the
best.
appetizer, like
appetizers.
standalone
Appetizers have not
game.
let us down.
Oh, the apps was like an app sampler at Cheats. Like, that was a meal. Like, you get that thing and you have a good night. And I'm so proud of the Cards and how they fought. And do you have some closing thoughts before we let you get out of here, Gus?
No, I mean, I completely agree with you. I would just say in general, college football right now is just a beautiful thing to be a fan of. I mean, NFL just sucks. I'm usually an NFL guy, but college football, I mean, I've been at a few games, Nebraska, Maryland, boots on ground in Louisville, UVA. That was tough, but like college football is just a beautiful thing right now. Love you boys. Keep doing what you're doing. You're making it even better. But yeah, go Cards. What a game.
Gus, and then before final thing, do you got any predictions? Maybe something you're keeping an eye on in the sport of college football, as you're a good fan, and that the pod should be.
Yeah, I was peeking at it earlier. I like the somebody played Bama this week.
No, I don't think they're playing football anymore.
I like whoever's playing Bama this week. Who's that?
I don't know. They stopped playing. The season is over.
That's my pick though. Go with
Yeah.
the Cox.
Yeah. And
Always trust the Cox.
and another good thing about this is one of the friends of the podcast, I believe he's gonna be boots on the ground.
No.
No, there's no game this week. I won't be going anywhere.
Oh man.
I don't know what you're talking about, Charlie or Gus. I'm pretty sure that they have a bye week this week.
So you're not hopping on a flight and going to Columbia, South Carolina.
I mean, there's rumors about that, but I cannot confirm or deny those rumors. Well, it'll be addressed during the State of the Union.
So
It's
Cocktober's off.
October, there's rumors of it being off, but it will be addressed in the State of the Union.
Oh yeah, Gus, you got to tune in for the pod when it comes out tomorrow because Sam has a State of the Union prepared.
oh, quick turnaround. Oh my gosh. So this comes out tomorrow. I was talking to the fellas. By the way, keep the ACC, like, don't forget about the cards. Like, give us the respect
We
because you
do.
got a lot. I know you do, but you got a lot of Derby City fans in here now, so we better hear some mentions. I know the schedule's not all that great, but we better hear some picks here and there.
I mean, I will say we did a deep dive on the JMU Louisville game. We probably did a
Yeah,
15-minute segment on that game.
and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
So
you guys have been great.
and the Pitt
Thank you
Louisville
so
game.
much. Yeah. Thank you so
Ironically,
much for
that's the
having
only
me on.
pick. That's the only super dog I've hit is against Louisville this year. Ironic.
Well, you keep at it, Arch.
We're chugging along, throwing darts at the board, and we're covering our eyes. That's what we're doing
There
right
you
now.
go.
You got a super dog this week, Gus?
Huh.
Super Dog,
Guess super dog?
I don't have anything. I'll send you something to throw in the post if you want to be that generous, but
Yeah, I'll
no,
do
Yeah.
that. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
it's
we'll do
still
that.
early.
We'll do that. You scour the board after this. You text me your super dog because you're like the guest picker on game day.
That's
Yeah, he is
huge.
the guest picker.
Yeah.
And
guest
then
picker.
our editor will make the edit.
Yeah,
For
I was gonna say if your editor, I forget his name, but if he wants to throw in that Jeff Brom, do I do or do I not have a pulse? You
I
get
could.
that guy to throw it
Well,
in there.
the editor can throw
We'll
that on
tell the
there
editor.
Saturday morning. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
tell the
Perfect.
editor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
that'd be
get the editor.
huge.
Intern editor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Intern Jameis we'll let him know.
Yeah.
I actually told one of the marketing professors at IUP, I'm cooking up an email to be like, hey, do you guys have like an intern that like might be available? Like free. We can't pay them anything, but if they want some exposure doing some
College credit.
social media things for
Yeah.
my podcast.
Professor
Well,
We
Forward
cannot
Pass.
afford to pay you.
yeah, we won't pay
I
you.
love it.
Yeah.
We can pay you in picks.
Yeah, we can. We can pay you in laughs,
Get an intern from BC3.
dude. True.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
hold on.
dude, wait, yeah. Hold on.
Oh, I should have worn this knowing that you were coming on the pod.
There we go.
Come on now.
Try captains right there.
This is
Oh,
us.
I should have put this on. I
Oh my
forgot.
gosh. Wow. What a
I actually
full
thought of
number.
that. I thought of that when I texted you on Sunday, Charlie, to have him on. I was like, oh, I'm gonna wear my BC3
No.
sweatshirt.
Okay, at least we got the BC3 tri captains
We got
in
clip.
the podcast. Yeah.
Shout out, Mr. Mill
Yeah. Shout out Mark Mill. Wow. That's wonderful, Gus. Dude,
and Butler Community College.
yeah. If you didn't know, yeah, BC3 is Butler Community College, and that was like the running joke because we were so dumb in Little League that we were gonna go to BC3. So
Hey, they'll never forget that rundown.
no, they won't. Never forget.
You're talking to royalty here. World Series champions.
Duska and Arch, you ever heard that story?
I
No.
don't think I have.
8U.
You
Tampa
want to
Bay-
hear
They're 0 and
the
8.
Little League coach pitch rule book?
Yeah.
You talk to Papa Don.
Hey, listen, Gus and Arch. Caleb and Luke. We started 0 and 8 on the season, the Tampa Bay Rays, coached by Sam's dad with the head coach, me and Gus's dad were the assistants. We start 0 and 8, shambles looking outlook. Then we catch fire into the playoffs at the right time. We're playing against the 1 seed in the championship. We're up a run. They got a guy on first. Ball gets hit to the third baseman. We don't know who overthrew me. Gus has blamed it on Perry. Perry claims he did
I did
not
not
overthrow me.
field the ball. I was
Okay.
just watching the
So
whole
we
time.
don't know who fielded the ball, but I was at first. They overthrew me at first, but the fence was pretty close. So Joey Woodrow, some kid from Pine, rounds the bases. He rounds the base to go into first. And there was a kid who was I guess the kid was on second. His name was Jeremiah Hazley, currently plays football at Duke. He's rounding second, and goes to third, comes home as a rundown's going on. Me and Gus get Joey Woodrow in a pickle, tag him out. before Jeremiah crosses the halfway point where like they would count the run, and then there's a bunch of what would it be called? Chaos ensues. The coach is like arguing that the run should count because obviously this is the season on the line. There's 2 outs. Legend has it that my grandpa pulled out the rule book. I don't know if I remember that, but that's how Gus tells the story.
That's how I
Also,
heard
we
it.
would have won that game in a walk-off
Well,
either way.
either way, that was the top of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th, I was up next. We had the top of the order up next. So like they were gonna have to see Mill, Perry, Wymard,
The meat.
Waryanka, and like they weren't getting through that. Like
And then pipes to just
and Pipes at 5th and Defoja at 6th. Like come on,
no. I think our call-up was batting sixth.
Joe Perry. I love him.
Yeah, the reason that our team took this
Joey
big
Bag of
turnaround was
Donuts?
one of our players happened to go on a trip, and they were like, "Hey, Dom, Mark, and Peter, we're so sorry. We're taking a vacation to Disney World. Like, we're gonna miss the last 2 weeks of the season." They're like, "Oh my gosh, what? Are you serious? Like,
and that
that's
coined
terrible." Hey, Joe, come up.
yeah that coined the term addition by subtraction forever in Little League. Like, dude, we loved addition by we hoped our 9 and 10 hitters like went on vacation the last 2 weeks. We actually put it on the like pamphlet, like, hey, you're the 9 and 10 spot. Like, if Myrtle Beach has to happen, like it's allowed to happen, because then we could call up like Joey, and Joey was much better than any of the 9 or 10 hitters. Yeah, and then we'd throw him 6 in the lineup. It was wonderful. But I'm glad we got to rehash all this. Gus, thanks for coming on, dude. Love you, buddy. Go Cards, as always.
WP,
Love you, boys. Thank you so
always a
much for
pleasure.
having me on. And like I said, keep doing what you're doing. You got a lot of fans. Love to see it every week. But yeah, you guys are the boys. Thank you.
Love you, Pete.
Go Cards.
Be good.
Go Cards.
All right.
Wow.
Pistol
Great
Pete.
guest.
Yeah, great guest. Sorry for the Little League diatribe, but it
Hey,
is a little
listeners,
more.
just so you
That's all right,
know,
we're
if your
adding- we're
team
adding
pulls
lore to
off
the
a
show.
historic upset, you might be on the pod.
Exactly.
Except Colin Foley. If Tennessee ever has a big win.
Yeah. For
Barred.
when you stand up the pod once, fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me can't be fooled again. Is that a Miller Lite Arch?
Nah, Diet Dr. Pepper.
DDP.
A little DDP.
Is that a little salad? A little salad?
Yeah, a little salad.
All right. Hey, we actually have a show to do, so we're gonna keep going. Ole Miss, Georgia. What a game, dude! Sanford Stadium, just what a place. Always. At the end of the game, like so loud, so much fun. Ole Miss is well coached. Lane Kiffin's a good football coach. Kirby Smart's a great football coach. I thought this was such a fantastic game. I didn't catch a lot of it live, but I just watched the highlights and I just thought it was such good football. We ended up getting really good quarterback play from guys we didn't really expect to be all that good. Like the growth you're seeing from Gunnar Stockton right now is like has to be music to Arch's eyes and ears, because he's been playing lights out. Trinidad Chambliss again, they scored a touchdown on their first 5 drives. Like Trinidad Chambliss is for real. This game was really special. Arch, dude, Gunnar Stockton, have a day.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely critical of him at times earlier in the season, rightfully so. Didn't give up on him though, and it's cool to see. I mean, it's cool to see like him, and you kind of relate to like the Ty Simpson thing, guys that stayed at a program and that are just developing, they're excelling now, and they're actually getting the chance to play. It's awesome to see. I mean, Stockton just like he's learning how to use his legs more and more effectively every week, and he's just tough as nails. Like he didn't practice on Tuesday or Wednesday this week before the Ole Miss game because he had an oblique injury. And then he goes out there and battles and throws the same amount of incompletions as he had touchdowns. I mean, he's just a gamer, exactly what this offense needs. Super dynamic. So I mean, it's just awesome to see week after week the progression. And I'm excited to see like what happens as the season goes on, because I don't think his development's going to stop.
Dude, Kirby vindication here. Kirby vindication week. Not saying and Carson Beck is not a bad quarterback. I'm not here to shit on Carson Beck. I like Beck as a college football quarterback, but vindication from Kirby Smart, and this is why I always just trust him. Like This is why when he played Stetson Bennett over JT Daniels, like I rode with Kirby because I was like, dude, this guy, like, dude, he watches all the film, like he's the decision maker, and like I will follow his will blindly because um, dude, Gunnar Stockton, you're watching the development. The intangibles and the leadership that he shows and the toughness, um, he definitely galvanizes this Bulldogs team, and he's become like the heartbeat of the squad, which is really cool because you have to earn that as the quarterback. Like you, sometimes like quarterbacks get voted as captains because teams want to see like their quarterback be their captain be a quarterback and their quarterback be a captain, but to really like galvanize the team and to like earn the heart and respect of your teammates, like, dude, it just takes like gutsy performances like this. And this Georgia team is a little bit less talented than they usually have been, especially at edge. In the secondary, I think like they're not as good or deep as they usually are. But dude, their receiving core, they have a ton of aggregate playmaking. I can name a ton of playmakers. Dude, London Humphreys had a couple big third down catches. Bell's good. He's also super physical. What's Zachariah Branch? He made some great 1st and 10 like screen. The aggregate run game, kind of with like his short burst and his contact balance. They've got Frazier at running back. Who's the other back I really like? Arch.
Bowens.
Bowens.
Bowens is a good back.
Lawson Lucky.
They got Lucky involved. Delp had a big catch. Like they have aggregate playmaking, and they've got a guy who's really understanding the Mike Bobo offense. And I think like him and him and Bobo are doing a really good job evolving and layering the offense each week. And dude, it was really cool to see. And kudos to Ole Miss too, because I think Ole Miss is a really good football team. Like they showed me a lot in this game. And that defense isn't great by any means. But this offense is really good. Lane Kiffin's a wonderful football coach. And dude, this is what I love about college football. Dude, Lane Kiffin like running down the sidelines when his guys like get loose for a touchdown. Like that's awesome to see. Sorry, I'm romanticizing this a lot, but it was truly like this is what college football is all about, like this game. And it was really cool.
Yeah, I also noticed Ernest Green back in the lineup in this game. I thought he actually added a lot and sort of held down that right side stronger than it had been previously all season. Was really impressed with the rushing attack. 221 yards on 49 carries. Frazier and Bowens getting the majority of that workload. And the ground game was obviously key to them having a lot of success and scoring on every single drive. And we talked a lot about that in the preview. And they did more than enough for the offense to be successful. Ole Miss was good too. And in the preview, we talked about if Georgia couldn't generate a pass rush, Chambliss would have some time to operate and would be able to distribute to his weapons, which he does at a pretty high level. But they did do a good job of holding their running game and limiting Kawan Lacey. He ended up having 31 yards on 12 carries. So definitely had to press a little bit more in the fourth quarter when they had to answer scores. And that's where you saw the Georgia defense come back into play. Shout out to Dalen Everett for that huge PBU on the third down before Georgia took the lead. And yeah, Georgia's ability to win all of these games in whatever way they have to, I think that's the most impressive part and the biggest testament to Kirby for how his team's operating this season. Because whether it's a defensive slugfest like the Auburn game, where they had to come back from being down early, or a high-scoring shootout like this game or the Tennessee game, you can just tell that Georgia will never give up and they'll hang around for the entire game. And if you don't play a full 60 minutes against them, they're going to come back and bite you at some point. So huge credit to Kirby and how they're rolling. For Ole Miss, definitely a tough loss. But I mean, that's their first SEC loss of the season, their first loss of the season. So, or no, yeah, right? They were undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, everything they want is still right in front of them. The biggest thing for them is to not let this game beat them twice. They played well, but Georgia just made more big plays in the end. Not letting this game defeat you again in your practice and preparation, because you have another big game in Norman coming up this Saturday. So blocking out and learning from mistakes that you made in this game, and then not making those same mistakes as you move on down the line. And then also just blocking out all the noise surrounding Lane and the Florida job too. But still everything in front of Ole Miss if they're able to execute.
Yeah, I think this is a huge week for Ole Miss to talk a little bit more about them. Obviously, Georgia's inevitable, but I think this next 5 days is massive for Ole Miss season. Obviously, because they have to go to Norman as 3.5 point dogs against that defense. Secondly, the Lane Kiffin noise and how he's going to be able to prepare his team to be ready to go on the road. And then third, I'm really interested to see how Chambliss responds because he played nearly a flawless 3 quarters in that game and he was awesome. And then in that fourth quarter, he missed some huge key throws, especially on that. I think it was the last drive. He missed that guy coming up um, around midfield. So seeing how they're able to, like you said, Jessica, not let this game beat them twice is going to be huge. And what would be a really disappointing back-to-back weeks here if they can't get it done. And you might start to see similar things from last year is like you just don't want things to snowball. So big week for Ole Miss on top of this.
Yeah, college football. What a game it is. Next, we'll go to Nashville. What do you guys think of Nashville? You like Nashville?
Yes.
Yeah,
Great time.
Nashville's cool.
Best 2 day town in the world.
Yes, yes, yes. There's something called the shot clock in Nashville that Luke Dusker can speak more about, but
I don't really want to.
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want you to. I'm just saying,
No.
Nashville, wonderful place.
Yeah.
Shot clock,
Shot
invention,
clock was there.
shot clock invention, and also the last. So that's just a little Nashville side, but great place. And it was not known for college football. There was a time when the Preds lost to the Penguins in the Stanley Cup, and that was a big deal for hockey in Nashville. But football in Nashville they had the Mariota era, and then Vanderbilt's just been bad forever. Vanderbilt beats number 10 LSU 31-24. Really impressive. Do any of you guys have pressing thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I got a few quick things. Losers first. I thought this was actually Nuss's best game as a passer. And it's starting to seem like that injury is affecting him less and less post that South Carolina game. Um, and this kind of reminded you of those Jaden Daniels games where their offense was fine, but the defense just couldn't get that stop. And on top of that, credit to Vandy just by lulling them to sleep, basically play by play by play. Some big stats here. Vandy ran 67 plays to LSU's 49 plays and then won the time of possession battle 36-ish to 23-ish. So they won that time of possession battle by 13 minutes. And that's just Vandy's recipe to win week in and week out. And that's a very repeatable recipe because they have a true identity. And I think that's the strength of this team is that they play to their identity, they play to their strengths. And I mean, it's on for them. They got Tennessee and then Tennessee and Mizzou as their two big tests the rest of the year. So I think they got to go 1 and 2 in those, and then take care of Auburn and whoever else they have to play. But yeah, it's on.
Yeah, I think Clark Lee deserves a lot of credit for just the overall turnaround that he's been able to accomplish at Vandy. Just in general, this is a huge win for them at home. Obviously, they had the Alabama win last year. That was the biggest win probably in program history. But just a lot of credit to him, and because they've been the gum on the shoe of the SEC for a long time. So really impressive turning it around. Clark Lee is also a sneaky former assistant of Brian Kelly, so it's got to feel good to get a win over your former boss. And I'm just impressed overall at how physical Vanderbilt is on both sides of the ball, dominating the run game in short yardage with their quarterback, with their running backs. Their O-line's really good. Another interesting part about their O-line is that they actually rotate their guards. So they call it the strong guard and the quick guard. So the guards play both sides of the ball, which I think is very interesting and unique. You could just see I think you could see the contrast in body language and confidence and belief in the ability to win and impose your will on both sides. And on every single Nussmeier drop back, it just felt like there was pressure in his face and he had to make a heroic throw. So I think credit to Vandy for forcing them into those situations. But overall, the LSU, to me, they just feel pretty hollow and lacking of an identity because they're super talented and they have a good defense, but they're not wildly physical and they don't really make huge plays. And offensively, their possessions remind me a lot of Penn State in a way where it feels like they're kind of just straining for yards and straining for first downs. And every single time they get a first down, it takes a heroic effort, and there's like no rhythm to it. And I think that kind of defines the Brian Kelly LSU teams overall. Supremely talented with all the potential in the world, but hollow when things get tough. And with this loss, that's kind of what might ultimately end up defining the Brian Kelly era at LSU. So I think hot seat discussions are probably heating up a bit, but they do only have 2 losses. They just have a tough rest of their schedule, including playing Texas A&M this week at home. So we'll see how those things play out. But yeah, tough loss.
And Nuss played his heart out.
Yeah.
Like, you feel really bad for the kid. Like, he loves LSU, puts everything he has into it. He made some really sick throws under duress. Like, dude, guys in his face, like he's just getting rocked and he delivers the football. I liked Cedric Alexander, the Vandy back. He had the pink cleats and the pink towel. Dude, boy dog, as Arch would say. Like, guy was running so hard. That he kind of encapsulates like that Vanderbilt team, like him, Pavia, their offense that is like the 2 tight ends were the best weapons of the day, out of the receiving wise. So just really cool how they kind of put game scripts together. Xavier, like in to your point, Duska, where you're talking about like just incredible plays LSU has to make. Like Vanderbilt looks like they're scheming guys open. They have rhythm. LSU, like one of their touchdowns, Xavier Thomas scored one of the most incredible touchdowns I've ever seen when they threw the ball short left and then he broke like 14 tackles and like pinballed off of a defender and then he ran 60 yards into the end zone. Like one of the like I wrote Xavier Thomas, are you not entertained in all caps? Like when I saw that play, like that was insane. So you're right. The heroic efforts, like that's what LSU relies on, in a 60-minute football game against a good football team. That's just not going to cut it.
Also, the Vandy atmospheres, it seems like it's improved a lot. I remember we played there in the beginning of 22, and that was when Vandy was pretty down in the dumps. I think it was the second year of Clark Lee. But I mean, it was a pretty lifeless stadium. And I know they've done some renovations there, and the team and the school now they have a little bit more stake and a little bit more things to root for. So it seems like the atmosphere has really picked up and it's starting to get the feel of like home field advantage and like it's a legitimate football program. So it's pretty cool overall to see the turnaround.
No doubt. Are you guys okay with moving on to the next game?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Would you guys rather do Auburn, Missouri, or do you want to do Texas Tech?
Let's do Texas Tech.
Dude, this game was really well, it was a crazy game. It was a crazy game because we were thinking like, all right, how last week's on the pod, we were thinking, what is the game script like so that Arizona State could win? And we're trying to figure it out. And I think the conclusion we came to was we're gonna have to get like the Sam Levitt masterclass. Well, we got it. We got the Sam Levitt masterclass. He was so dialed in this game. First off, Sam, did you see Arizona State's uniforms?
Loved him.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful uniforms from them. A little cream white. You call it the stripe, the retro logo. Wonderful.
I think can't remember if we mentioned it or not. They were coming out in some snazzy alternates. I forget if
I don't know if the pod was ahead of that, but the pod supports the Arizona State alternates. Jackson Levitt, he threw like 3 post balls while getting drilled
Jackson Levitt
in the bucket. Oh yeah, not Jackson Levitt. That's an Elon soccer goalie. Sam Levitt.
Shout out Jackson Levitt.
Shout out Jay Levitt. Dude, Sam Levitt was getting murdered, and then he just delivered 40-yard, 50-yard bombs down the field in the bucket. like we saw Sam. I mean, we saw Sam Levitt find it, and it was just like here's like my game notes. So like Arizona State keeps kicking field goals in the red zone, and so I write like, all right, Arizona State, they have to get more than field goals. The Arizona State defense was really impressive, but then all of a sudden Arizona State starts colossally folding. I write, cannot believe Texas Tech just took the lead. Like score, stop, score. All of a sudden they have the lead because it was 19-7. They get a touchdown, they get a stop, they get another touchdown. And so all of a sudden, Texas Tech has all the momentum. And then in all caps, I wrote, all good. We employ Sam Levitt with like 40 T's because Arizona State does employ Sam Levitt. And that was good enough to beat Texas Tech on this day. And I keep saying Sam Levitt, but you guys got to watch this tape. It's unbelievable. It's like one of the best quarterback performances I've seen in all of college football. And this is kind of what we've been waiting for because I've been very high on him as an NFL draft prospect, and we got it this game. We got it.
Yeah, I mean, just to that point, I don't think you mentioned it. It was 4th and 2 with the game on the line at midfield. Levitt scrambles and just finds a way to get the ball to Jordan Tyson for a huge gain, and then the score after that felt pretty inevitable, and they take the lead and end up winning the
Brown
game.
rushing score.
Yeah. So that was just, I mean, that's just unbelievable quarterback play. And the Texas Tech offense was pretty disjointed. I thought coming off of Utah that their trenches on both sides, their front seven on defense and their offensive line, they were on another level compared to the rest of the Big 12. And I thought Arizona State would be vulnerable up front based off their game at Utah last week, but I mean, it didn't really matter. And Texas Tech, they got away from the ground game, relied on Will Hammond a lot. I think he had like almost 40 passing attempts. And to me, it was just one of those spots where neither offense could really get a lot going. And the better quarterback just ended up making some bigger plays for their team, and that's who ended up winning the game. So yeah, all the credit in the world to Sam Levitt and Arizona State for gritting it out and winning this game.
Yeah, Will Hammond didn't play that bad. He was not that bad. He was not as good as he was against Utah, but he was not that bad.
They were just pressing a lot because they didn't really run the ball.
Why are we asking?
A
Yeah,
ton.
whenever you're asking your backup,
and they just asked a lot
40 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool to see J.C. Miller very involved in the offense, though.
Mm-hmm.
He played a lot of snaps.
I mean, he's just a stud. It was a shame
the pick happened.
Yeah, the pick where he got popped and
yeah, that was a shame. But dude, that was just like we're running an under route like right into the defensive back.
Tough catch, balls behind you.
Yeah, and he actually did.
I'll make all the excuses in the world for my boy.
And he made a sick
tough.
He made a sick catch, just like, dude.
Yeah,
tough one. That's okay though. He came back like on the final touchdown Texas Tech scored, dude, and he just like pounded the safety, like just dude, like got downhill.
Willing and gritty blocker, which I love. I love that.
Which we love from 9. JC Miller's 9 on Texas Tech. So yeah,
boy,
yeah, the kid. You guys got anything on the Arizona State game?
Not a whole lot. It reminded me a lot of their game against Mississippi State, just the reverse. Like losing the whole time, come back, lose, but winning the whole time, come back, and then end up winning. So
yeah.
The field goal. Did you guys see that field goal post thing? That was
Isn't it
insane. Like you know how they have the field goals that like gradually go down now so that they can't take them out?
Yeah.
Well, it broke and it just went straight down. And thank God it didn't hit anyone, but someone would have died probably.
Yeah, I'd almost hit a Texas Tech defensive player. Like it would have knocked the dude out probably. He'd probably sue them for.
They probably would have bankrupted the state of Arizona if that happened.
Well, yeah, that game there was like people rushing the field. It was bad. You got to watch the video because it falls down and like gravity takes over and that thing swings down like.
So Arizona State fans, I understand the passion, but is that a rush the field spot?
No, people rush.
They literally won the
old
Big
man
12 last year.
But why do we rush the field for every single win? Like I don't understand it. It's all the time.
Ranked win doesn't always equal
like
field storming. I agree.
I don't understand. Like I don't get it.
Now,
I
I do
agree.
want to I do want to say though, field stormings are cool. We're not saying they're not cool.
I'm actually going to say they're not cool anymore. I'll say it. Too many people do them,
I
and
love the UVA field storming, to be
the
honest.
UVA one was that's what's kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Although that's
I
a
thought that was awesome.
field storming victory, sure. The way they did it, no. But that's just a whole other topic. I just think people do
Well,
it
that's
far
just
too
the
much.
structure of the stadium. They have students on a hill where you have easy access to the field. So everyone's just going to pile up in that area and then sprint onto the field as soon as the game's over.
I mean, me and
Which I think
Perry
is a problem.
tried to field storm against Texas A&M, South Carolina. We were in the gates ready to field storm. They didn't let us. That was sad. I wanted
I'm
It's a
to.
happy
shame.
that would have been a shameful field storming.
Yeah, what are they like 20 in the country? Like,
Yeah,
why are we
yeah.
storming that? I was just cool. I was like, all right, if this is what's gonna happen, I'm gonna be a part of it. But
Shane Beamer rips off his shirt and gets on the injury tent like this just to beat the number 20 team in the country.
yeah. Never forget Xavier Legette returning the opening kickoff though.
That was
And
nice.
that was when South Carolina was in a much better spot as a football program. Um,
Just one more thing on ASU.
yeah.
They played through the toughest part of their schedule at this point too, so they're going to be favored in the rest of their games most likely. So they were my preseason Big 12 champ if they're able to
I'm
take
not
care of
coming off
business.
of it, Duska. I
Yeah,
stayed with it. I
yeah,
stayed with it.
they should be in good shape. But I know
I-
there's two undefeated Big 12 teams as well, so that they have to be handled.
Need a BYU and a Cincy loss, but they do play each other. So,
And Texas Tech plays BYU. I know that.
yep. Yep. Yes. Exactly. So,
So let's go, Devs.
Arizona State, they just dude, they're a good program. They've done it before. The vet in them is showing.
Max Ienachor too.
Is that the
Don't
tackle?
forget. Yeah. OT1.
OT1. Nice, nice. I was actually talking to some kid at there's one of our managers. He wants to be an NFL scout, so he was giving me his big board.
Swing him that name. See if he likes him.
No, I will. I was actually
Yeah.
giving him a bunch of the names you had. There's Fanu and I was like, there's a good one in Utah. He was like, two of them, and I was like, oh, so you do know ball. And then Markel
Maui
Bell.
Noah from
Yeah, so
Miami.
Markel Bell and Maui Noah from Miami.
Yeah.
I told him I was like, yeah, my buddy last year, Josh Simmons was his OT1. He feels pretty vindicated about that. So yeah, it was whatever. We were getting into he had Dante Morris as his first quarterback on the board this year. We'll see.
We'll see if he's in the draft.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Next game, dude, the Auburn Tigers. They simply cannot get out of their own way. And dude, this parallels so much to the Billy Napier era in Florida, this Auburn era of Hugh Freeze. Dude, it's your side of the football. You're the play caller, and we look awful, and you look awful on offense. And it's tough when you hitch your wagon to a running back, but that's also no excuse. You're the head coach. What's this, year 4 or year 3? Year 3. Dude, this Auburn defense is really good. As you could see, the first couple drives, they just sum up Auburn football and watching Auburn football. So they have a good first drive from Arnold where they have a ton of QB run, whether it's off scramble or whether it's designed QB run. Arnold gets loose with his leg. The second drive, he's not on the same page with the receiver and throws a pick. I understand it, but it still can't happen. But it wasn't the craziest thing you'll ever see. And then the third drive is just derailed by sack yardage, and that's literally what it's been all year. Bad turnovers. Every once in a while, they look good when Arnold gets his legs going, and then sacks. And I actually like a lot of Auburn's players, like Cobb, the running back, dude, stud. Cam Coleman, receiver, stud. Their defense, they have NFL edge rushers, they're good. They're a good football team, but I don't think Missouri was all that impressive. I didn't think Prebula looked. He was fine. Prebula. What did he throw? Did he throw a couple picks?
He threw. Well, yeah, the one was at the end of the game. When it was 3rd and 28, they ran all out blitz and he just chucked it up. but then he threw
Yeah.
the one in the red zone.
Yeah, the red zone pick. That's what I'm remembering. Yeah,
That was
so
a really good play by the DB.
100% really good play. I mean, it wasn't like Prabula was like he was fine. I mean, they didn't really get Ahmad Hardy going either. So that was like a little bit discouraging, but also like dude, Auburn's a good defense. So this game was like kind of not that it was entertaining in terms of like competitive and it going to double OT, but like the field goal kicking was awful. Like, dude, terrible field goal kicking. I think Auburn's kicker was 1 for 4. So he's dealing with
I
some
mean, that's the
injuries.
game right there.
Yeah, yeah.
You win
Yeah,
that
and
game if you make two
they
40
were
yarders.
inside. Two of them were inside of 40 yarders.
Yeah.
40 yards.
Yeah, so just there's just failure of execution in the little details of the game, and that's probably going to get you fired in the SEC. And the Auburn job's a good job.
I think it was very discouraging for Mizzou as well. I mean, Auburn's really good defense, but their offense looked they just asked Prabula to do a lot, and I don't know if I think he's just an okay college quarterback. He's not elevating the ceiling of your team. And
Arch put it well last week.
how'd he put it?
Is the one I said that he was wearing a Penn State, or who used to say this fine? Oh, it was 2 weeks ago. I said he was like, that's when we were doing the Aller Preview debate, and I said that I think both were just like fine.
No. He also said that, like he was like what he said about the Alabama game. Arch was like, what a bad game from like your game manager quarterback. Like,
oh yeah, he's not going to elevate you he might elevate you versus UMass. He's not going to elevate you versus Auburn.
I'll say it again. You can take the man out of Penn State, but you can't take the Penn State out of the man.
Well said.
And when's the last time a Penn State quarterback elevated the ceiling of a team?
Trace McSorley.
So almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. Throwing on a dime. That is a great song. That's the best part of the Penn State era. The USC loss and that song. Those are my two favorite parts.
You got a lot of losses to choose from.
Dude, right? The Northwestern loss, I mean, that's not this McSorley era, but my favorite Penn State loss. All right, we got anything else in this game, or is it, you hate talking about a guy losing his job, but this is probably this is a Billy Napier copy and paste. Right?
Yeah. I mean, Auburn like has played well, not well, but like it seems like every
It's
team
close.
plays. They do a good. Yeah, it seems like you walk out of a game against Auburn, you're like, I'm not impressed by Oklahoma, or I wasn't impressed by A&M in this game. So like credit to them a little bit for being able to like their defense is very good. But something I found
Auburn, why are we
interesting.
letting Duke outbid us for Darian Menza? Like, why?
Something I found interesting is that Arnold has more carries than Cobb on the season.
Oh,
100 carries to 89.
yeah.
That's foul.
Also,
RB derogatory.
like
Man.
McPherson was hurt and they brought him back fine, but like that kick, the 50-yarder barely got to the goal line.
Yeah, it was not good.
Like, and they're on the podcast, they're like, oh, and he's coming back from an injury, like he's gonna struggle. Like he was horrible. Another funny part of that game was the coin toss in OT. I don't know if you guys saw that clip.
Yeah.
They had the Missouri edge.
Yeah, and then the announcer's like, and Missouri defensive player was really fired up in the coin toss.
I love that.
I do too. Love when competitors have some juice.
Just one more thing. Jackson Arnold has been sacked 26 times this season already.
Dude, he's on
And
pace.
also,
That's like the
people
Deion
make-
sack, not the Deion.
people make a big
Shedeur.
deal about quarterbacks not throwing picks, but I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I've seen people argue online that sometimes when a quarterback is not throwing picks, that's a bad sign for them as a quarterback. Like I don't know how to describe it perfectly, but basically
taking like chances.
yeah, exactly. Basically them not having confidence in their reads and like holding the ball too long. And then, I mean, the sack numbers speak for themselves. So like that interception stat is not all that impressive either, especially since he only has 5 passing touchdowns as well. So
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, so like he threw a pick, right? So it's 5-1 now.
it was his first pick since September of last year. It's like, who
Yeah.
cares?
Yeah.
How many games
He's
has he
also
won since
just like
September of last
flustered
year?
constantly.
Huh?
Like even on that one big play at the end of the game where like it was supposed to be a play action and the running back didn't do it, he like freaked out. Like he's just not like composed at all.
Like I think it's to Duska's point. Like
Yeah. I know, I'm
we're
agreeing.
speculating, but like his confidence level of like
Yeah, oh
his
totally.
downfield passing cannot be that high with like this level of production.
It reminds me of like when that big stat when Kenny was a Steelers quarterback. He's like, oh, he doesn't turn the ball over. Well,
We also don't push
so
the ball down
He
the
doesn't.
field.
Yeah,
yeah.
he doesn't move the ball either.
Yeah. So pick your poison. Archie had something to say?
I mean, I remember after they played Baylor and everybody was wowed by Auburn, the way they played was extremely unsustainable to succeed in the SEC. And when people were like Arnold, Heisman, dark horse, Hugh Freeze might have it. You see, they've lost 4 straight, and they're probably going to lose 5 straight. And they think they're playing Baylor every week, where they can just out athlete, and you actually need like coaching and competent quarterback ability to get it to your weapons. Also, one last thing about Auburn, I wonder how that Eric Singleton guy feels. The guy who transferred from Georgia Tech
Dude, what a
to
shame.
just be like the third best receiver on that roster behind Coleman and then Thompson. He'll probably be back in the portal this year, I assume.
That
Probably
was a
with
miss.
Jackson Arnold.
Yeah. I mean, dude, imagine Singleton's still on Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
That was a match made in heaven. And
Yeah. What Sun Belt school do you think Jackson Arnold's playing tight end for next year?
Marshall.
He'd be electric up in coal country.
maybe Louisville. Maybe Louisiana Tech. What's it? The Raging Cajuns. Maybe Billy goes back, gets him.
Resurgence.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Some SEC school should get him and then make him put his hand in the dirt and like block. Just to do it.
He kind of looks like he'd be a good tight end. All right, next game. What were you calling this game, Sam? The BYU Utah game?
The Holy War.
Oh, the
Holy
Holy
War.
War. Dude, love that. Love that. Well, BYU won the Holy War. And this was like a classic, like collegey football game. Like you've got two collegey quarterbacks in Bear Bachmeier rocking 47, and then Devin Dampier, who's like the quintessential college quarterback. Dude, it was a brilliant day for BYU. It was packed. I was so impressed. The BYU offense has so much white in it, but it hums. I tell you what, it hums. Like I said last week, only team in the country where its top 4 pass catchers are white. There literally cannot be another team in the country. Like if there is, they show me because I don't know that. They've got Parker Kingston, they got Chase Richards, they got number 20, the tight end who was mauling people all game, Utah transfer. So he probably feels pretty vindicated. He was big time player for BYU. Utah was 1 for 5 on 4th down, which is disgusting. Like you cannot be 1 for 5 on 4th down. 2 of them were in the red zone, which kind of leads to like the take points versus not discussion. Bear Bachmeier though, dude, he hurdled your boy Duska, the 2-way guy.
Oh, Benny.
Yeah, he hurdled Benny. Yeah, those are just some of my dude. Oh, I also have like a little like thing. So I've watched last week against Penn State. In the Penn State, I watched Penn State muff a punt. BYU also muffed a punt. And I just have like a slippery rock this week. We played them muff the punt. Like muff punts are such a bad turnover. I just want to like put that in perspective for like viewers. Like a muff punt is a lot of the times worse than like throwing a pick. Like a muff punt is like automatically your defense made a stop, and then on 4th down, you let up a 35 to 55 yard explosive play. Like that's what a muff punt is. When you were like supposed to get the ball back, like so demoralizing. It's a 50-yard explosive play if the punter's good. I just had like that's like my muff punt thing. Like guys, you do not muff punts. Got to get better at that because that'll lose you football games. But yeah, just wanted to say that. BYU is the leader in the clubhouse in the Big 12. Cannot believe we're saying that. They do have to play Texas Tech and they have to play Cincinnati, though, who are 2 of the other big time players for the Big 12 championship. Texas Tech no longer holds their destiny because of teams like BYU. I think Utah is just missing like some NFL guys. Like I just don't see it with them. I bought the Utah train. I bought the Utah hype. I think O-line, they've got it, but Ryan Davis is like decent at receiver, but I don't see a lot of difference makers in Utah. I saw like Tanner Wall is a safety for BYU. Like he might play in the NFL. He's really good. He made an unbelievable pick. So BYU, they were sneaky impressed me.
Yeah, this was an awesome uniform game, I thought. All red, all blue.
Mm-hmm.
That was just very aesthetically pleasing. And the BYU stadium in general is very aesthetically pleasing. Um, Huge win though. I think BYU gets slept on a lot nationally, just in general. I'm not sure the exact reason why, but Coach Keilani Satake and the Cougars, just a huge win over this Utah program. And he's been on both sides of the rivalry. He was an assistant at Utah for a little bit and has now won 3 games in a row as the head coach of BYU. And this rivalry used to be seriously dominated by Utah. So very impressive for him and his alma mater to be in these games and being able to win them the last 3 times. And then, yeah, Bear Bachmeier, true freshman sensation. There's some really awesome true freshman quarterbacks in college football this year. Another one that jumps to mind is Malik Washington. I've been really impressed by him. And then Bryce Underwood, guy's got all the potential in the world, and Michigan picked up a big win this week. I'm sure we'll touch on that later, maybe quickly. But yeah, his stats don't jump off the page, but he made some really big plays. And for me, it was just defined by the 3rd and 11 designed quarterback run to put BYU up 2 scores. That was an awesome run by Bachmeier and did a good job protecting the football. It's a game where Utah ended up turning it over twice, so that's going to make all the difference. BYU capitalized off both Utah turnovers, scoring 10 points. So that's the game right there. And yeah, the BYU run game was pretty awesome too. 202 yards on 42 carries. LJ Martin, their lead back, at 122 yards on 4.7 per carry. And then Bear had 64 yards on the ground as well. So yeah, I love BYU using Bear as an extra hat in the run game on those design plays. And them just being able to run the ball in general against this Utah squad is impressive to me. So, yeah, Utah's probably on the outside looking in now with their second conference loss. And like you're saying, they're probably just missing some dudes that they need in their front seven and just all over the
At
field that
receiver
are
and running back.
receiver that are preventing them
Yeah.
from being able to take over these games because they have a lot of talent and they are physically imposing with their offensive line, but they're just not able to overcome some of
Their
the
limitations.
yeah, exactly.
I also said it wrong. BYU did not muff the punt. It was Utah muff the punt. That was made me so upset because I was rooting for Utah.
And Utah was also 1 for 5 on 4th down, which
I said
that's a
that.
pat. Yeah, okay, sorry, I missed that. That's
No, you're
padlock
good.
stat.
Did
Yeah,
padlock, and
Yeah.
2 of them were in the red zone.
Yeah.
So like that's 6 points you take off the board.
yeah.
So
Yeah, BYU's got a big stretch. They go to Iowa State. They're dogs this week. For those that are unaware, at Iowa State, and then they go play Texas Tech, TCU, and then Cincy, in their next 4 games. So it's out in front of them. They can join their destiny, like you said, Charlie. But it's a little bit reminiscent of last year, where like they were undefeated at the top of the Big Ten or Big 12, and then they kind of just sputter. And
Mhm.
I mean, I hope for their sake they don't, because Buckenheimer, as I like to call him, is fun to watch. So, but yeah, I don't personally, I don't see them being able to sustain throughout this gauntlet, whether it's they survive this week, then get clipped, but I think they're going to get clipped a couple times in this 4 game stretch. So, but a cool win, nice field storming, and it was cool to see their big donor go in the locker room and say that he paid off the field storming fine himself.
Mhm.
Another interesting thing about BYU, I don't know if you guys have seen any of this, but like their fans are like super, super loyal and like into the game. Someone made a video, it was like during like a minute before halftime, and just like showed the concourse. Like usually like you're gonna try to get the front of the line, or like get in the bathroom line, there was nobody in the concourse. They usually stick it out through the entire game, so they have very good fan base. Granted, there's not much to do on that campus other
Not
than a
like they're
little,
going to buy a beer at halftime.
yeah, other than a little soaking. But
It's like
yeah,
Europe. European fans, they don't leave their seats till at
Till the
least
job's finished.
at the soccer game I went to. Until that whistle blew at the 45th minute, like for extra time, like nobody moved. Just the only thing they moved was to grab another cigarette from their pocket. Utah's probably BYU fans probably not doing that.
Just dirty sodas.
Art, you got anything, or you doing us to move on?
Just disappointing for Utah. I definitely hitched my wagon to him in the preseason and sold the Kool-Aid to y'all.
I bought it. I drank it.
Yeah, there's just something
Two-way
about them. Like
transaction.
they just don't have enough difference makers. And I thought I looked past that because you think of the culture of Whittingham and everything they do. But honestly, BYU adopts their culture better than they do, I think, right now. Tough to see. Red zone, like muff punts, like you said, or like watching a muff punt when you're rooting for that team is like probably one of the worst feelings you could ever have.
Demoralizing, dude.
You're just
Demoralizing.
And it's it's always on the punt that goes 70 yards, which completely flips it's like it's not like a shank. It's like a huge, so it's literally like a 50 to 60 yard explosive, and you just have to sit there and be like,
dude,
all right.
Yeah.
Literally,
yeah. 60-yard explosive on 4th down.
And you just have to stare and watch.
After a huge massive third down stop. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough for the Utes. Another team that it was almost tough for was Texas barely getting by Kentucky 16-13 at OT. This game, it didn't surprise me all that much because it was after Oklahoma, you saw we saw what Texas needed to do to win games, and that's going to be a lower margin of error. Which is they're not just going to blow teams out and be this explosive offense. They're going to need to break tackles, methodically move the ball, have good decisions. And Kentucky they get somebody or almost get somebody every year. So Kentucky's no slouch to go play. So what do you guys have on this game?
I was out in Austin for this one. Hard watch. Very hard watch, especially since I was pulling for Kentucky. Just shout out Jack. But I mean,
Mill.
4 straight cracks at it from the goal line. Just stuff. Yeah, like you said, not like a crazy outcome. Granted, last week was a Super Bowl, and then having to get up for Kentucky is kind of tough. It looks like Taft is going to miss some time. The thumb surgery, so that'll be a big blow to their defense. Especially a unit that they rely on. And they have to go to Starkville this week, which is going to be a tough atmosphere for them to play in.
Starkville?
Mississippi State.
What's Starkville?
Where Mississippi State is.
No, that's Stark Vegas.
Keep
going.
But yeah, I mean, Texas, oof.
But you think they're still, because we were talking about this before the pod. Do you think they're going to stick around?
Yeah, I think they'll be in the hunt just because I think that this game against Mississippi State specifically, they'll win this game on talent, and then Vandy comes into town, and in 2 weeks, Halloween weekend, they should probably win that game too. And then they'll have to go to Georgia, but granted, they only have that one conference loss. So just something to keep an eye on if the rest of the SEC cannibalizes each other. And they got Texas Tech or Texas A&M at home for Thanksgiving.
They play Georgia too, though, right?
Yeah, they go to Georgia.
And they already have a conference loss. They got to play Texas A&M and Georgia.
And Vandy.
Yeah.
And Vandy.
Yeah.
I would put my life on them being Vanderbilt. So
life?
Okay, maybe not that extreme. I think there's no way they lose to a Vanderbilt. I think it'll be interesting to see what I feel like it's like a rite of passage for the SEC, like to have like a night game at Kroger Field in Kentucky, and you like Georgia does it all the damn time. Like even when we won the
night games at
national
Kroger Field
title,
are not like
even in the game in the season we won I think it was our second natty. Like that was like the worst football game I'd ever watched from Georgia. And then it doesn't matter. It's just how it goes. Arch didn't look. It's kind of sad that Arch looked like that after the like you thought he was making some strides at Oklahoma, but I guess it was kind of typical. Like there's like I said, something's always in the air there that in Lexington at night. So not too much stock in it.
Ground attack did him no favors either.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. It's like, gosh,
you got to give the guy something.
He didn't throw any picks, so
yeah. I just see he takes a lot of flack for the underperformance of that offense, and he's definitely not I don't think he's the main reason.
No, he's not.
But
all right,
I could see that. I could easily see them losing 2 out of 3 of those games, if not all 3. So, see.
Yeah, we'll see if Arch, if his life will be taken. Because his putting
I can't wait for that game now.
Yeah, same. Dude, a lot of Archers like, dude, 6 units on BC.
5.
Dude, BC lost to UConn.
Yeah, they made a quarterback switch.
What a dead team, dude. What a dead team. That's gotta be sad.
They gotta win out. They went out to hit the total, and they're 25-point underdogs this week. They're probably going to be 25 to 30-point underdogs against Notre Dame. They're going to be underdogs at Clemson. Or they already
that Notre Dame game, yeah.
They're also they play Tech. Yeah, bad.
Is it Bob Firewatch season?
I mean, I don't know how you don't. After the second game, like I genuinely thought they were going to be like a legitimate good team. After
the Michigan State game.
Because they looked their offense looked so good in that Michigan State game. I think it's more of
Michigan State might be so bad.
I think that was like a more of a reflection on Michigan State.
Yeah.
So
as we look back,
I wouldn't be surprised if they fired him. But I think Boston College is probably one of the worst jobs in America in the Power 4.
Yeah.
History, money, location, conference.
Yeah, like recruiting location. Like, dude, Massachusetts doesn't even play football. Yeah. Except Harry Peters, of course. He
might recruit some Hingham guys.
Yeah.
Your favorite Falcon of all time played for BC Arch.
Yeah, I know, but he's the exception, not the rule. Yeah. They don't have that many.
And he's a Keystone baller, so
yeah, still a guy.
Him and Kuechly, they hold it down for the BC lore. Speaking of a bad defense, Bama does what it does to Tennessee. Not too much to say about this game. Ty Simpson, he's wonderful. He's the Heisman favorite. This Alabama offense is really clicking. As I watched the game, you could see the layers being added each week. How they run the ball. I like some of the goal line stuff they did, like as just like as an offense watcher, some of the stuff they did at the goal line where like they're overloading left, like the quick pitch. Like I don't know. I find it very aesthetically pleasing watching Alabama run offense, and it's multiple, and they've got a great quarterback to do it. It's like it's so funny watching this offense juxtaposed with the Jalen Milroe offense, because Jalen Milroe and Kalen DeBoer are oil and water in terms of how they play football and then how he sees the game of football. And so it's cool to see like this is like, okay, this is like the DeBoer offense. Like this is what is being run. This looks like 2023 Washington with Michael Penix. So and they're in that receiving core. So it's pretty cool to see that again. And I was a big Washington guy when that run was happening, me and Duska both. So this is aesthetically pleasing football. I remember I was actually on the Washington train a year earlier. Duska, you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I loved watching all of their 2022 highlights. Like when Matt Love's ball was in his prime, like waking up on Sunday morning and watching Washington play offense in 2022 was awesome. And then 2023, it got even better. And then 2024 was the Jalen Milroe era where it wasn't all that fun to watch. And then now they're really fun to watch. So also back-breaking goal line pick six. That game was that. Once Aguilar threw that pick six, it was over from there.
14-point swing right there.
Yeah.
That was also really a horrible play call. Like they came out in jumbo package, called timeout in an obvious passing down. then proceeded to go back to that jumbo package, and like that just didn't to me make any sense. Like you're not running it, so why have that in?
Yeah. Was it fourth
I also
down?
think the score of this game was not indicative of the like outcome. Like, I think Bama just dominated. Tennessee kind of got theirs at the end of the
I mean,
game.
37-20 is pretty. That's still that's seven. That's
The
seven
box,
points.
I meant to say the box score.
Oh, okay, got you.
Like Tennessee might have outgained them, like maybe, but they got theirs at the end, just garbage time. But that's okay. Bama unloaded the tank a week early. It's okay.
This is a testament to Nick Saban's greatness, but I don't know if you guys saw the stat. Alabama has won 17 of the last 19 third Saturday in October games. So
And two of them happened in the last 4 years.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. He won like 15 in a row or something like that. So also it's just funny to look back at some of the week one discussions about Kalen DeBoer after their opening loss to Florida State. And to see the trajectory of both of those teams since that happened.
Dude, one
with
team,
everything that's happening
if
at
you
Florida
said
State.
if you told me after that game, one team went into play went 4-0 into conference play, and then the other team went 0-4. Well, first off, I wouldn't believe you because I wouldn't think Alabama went 0-4. But I definitely wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, Florida State 0-4 in conference play. How about that?
Side note,
That Norvell segment aged like milk.
Oh,
JP poll just came out.
Yeah.
It has Penn State in it again.
again,
Yeah.
It's because the model likes the talent.
drugs.
Drugs. Yeah. We'll see what he says about that. I mean, Penn State, but he's vindicated though. Like, he's vindicated. The line is 4.5, Sam. He's right.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
game?
Penn State, Ohio State.
Dude, that's a fake line. It's that
Look it
that
up.
was the
Look it
line. That
up.
was that was the line preseason. It's not available. That's what I'm saying. They're gonna
Mm.
It says it's
you can't
available on Vegas Insider.
you can't bet it though. I go to FanDuel, it's
I
not on
know.
there. That line is fake because they haven't released it. Ohio State's gonna be a 14-point favorite.
Still low.
It makes more sense.
Do you think
Also, I
14
actually
is
wouldn't be
low compared to
surprised.
preseason? That's dude. If
I
someone
wouldn't
would
be
have woke me up
surprised
today
if
before,
Penn
Yeah.
State wins one of those two games.
oh my god.
No way.
What,
they
Indiana or
lose.
Ohio State?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised. No, I wouldn't.
Like I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Dude, they have enough talent that like something could go their way.
They just lost to Iowa. Like I don't. I'm missing them.
I wanted to
hope
make
they
one.
don't.
I wanted to make one more Bama point
Okay.
before we get off this, and just draw a parallel to last year. So with the way the Alabama offense has progressed over the season so far, and Ty Simpson just completing his 7th career start, you see, like you were saying, Charlie, you see the layers being added to the offense week over week. I think we've seen a lot of improvement with the offensive line since week 1. And I want to draw a parallel to Ohio State from last year because with those two things coming along and developing nicely, and you see Ty Simpson getting all the seasoning and all the experience in the SEC as the season progresses, there's a similar sort of trajectory as Ohio State finally unlocked the potential of their offense as we got into the playoff, and they were just basically unstoppable from that point. So as you see the offense continue to progress for Alabama, I think they could eventually reach a point where they played enough games and Ty Simpson has all this experience and they're sort of just unstoppable at that point. So I think that's a potential trajectory for this team, and then could be a buzzsaw theory type of thing. We'll see.
I like that, Duska. Cogent analysis. I just wanted to point out a couple things before we get into some other things. Yeah, obviously Penn State lost. Pitt won. They beat Syracuse 30-13.
Well, their own destiny.
The offense needs to improve the red zone efficiency and taking some sacks, but some sacks were Mason's fault for holding the ball too long. Others, the Pitt O-line wasn't picking up the games or blitzes well enough. But I hope Lewis isn't out for a significant period of time. He's one of our linebackers. But all in all, good win for Pitt to keep the mojo going. We got a lot of Pitt fans on the pod, so I did want to shout that out. controls their own destiny. And like Sam said, the Dew's cruise keeps on chugging along. Also, one thing, the South Carolina OU watch was dreadful. I can't believe I watched the highlights of that game. Six.
Yeah, can I have a quick statement about that?
What?
Nothing to do with the game. I do not like this how coaches are reacting in post-game press conferences right now. I don't know if you guys were able to see the clip of Beamer losing his mind on the reporter for asking a simple question about making a change in the offense. Um, and it's becoming more and more like a theme with other teams. And I just think it's ridiculous that coaches are just lighting into these reporters for asking very normal questions. Um, I hate that coaches think that they have the ability to just tear someone down for doing their job when you can't do your own job well. So, not super related to the game, but just a side note that I have
Good point. Also,
about that.
super fair question when you have the worst offense in the SEC. So
Yeah, and just to get
you should
into
be able to field that question, honestly. Like if you know that these football coaches aren't idiots, like he knows.
quickly, there are 136 FBS teams. South Carolina in total offense ranks 127th, third down percentage 119th, passing offense 102nd, red zone offense 126th, rushing offense 120th, sacks allowed 133rd, tackles for loss allowed 126th, and time of possession 127th.
Yeah, but the reporter's in the wrong. Yeah, I agree, Sam.
They're just saving all of their offense for
I was about to say
this
they're
week.
just waiting.
Yeah. They didn't unload the clip yet.
Here are my notes on the South Carolina game, Sam. Six sacks, awful run blocking, worst pass blocking. The fake punt was horrid. The SC defense is fighting valiantly, and it's truly impossible to beat good teams with O-line play this bad. And that sums up my notes for the game.
Also, they allowed Oklahoma's rushing attack to get downhill for the first time ever. So
Yeah, it's also just hard
they
when
play hard though. Their defense is like not.
the defense is not the issue.
No, dude, they're well coached. Play hard.
I mean, they didn't have a third down conversion until late in the fourth quarter. So,
All right, let's go. So, Sam, do you have a State of the Union to give?
I do.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this is the fourth State of the Union I've had to give. Started out with UNLV. They responded well. Then it followed with South Carolina, who did not respond well. And then to Pitt, who responded well. So we are 2 for 3 on our State of the Unions. This is going to take a different tone, though. To start, to our loyal listeners, to those who I may have led astray with my Gamecocks predictions or season futures, Heisman talks, and the occasional Superdog, I am sorry. I thought that in year 5 of Beamer, we would see some linear progression rather than flipping on reporters and ultimately horrible fake punts. I thought that the continuity at quarterback and an in-house hire for OC would pay dividends for the offense that had shown great signs of improvement last season. I thought that the key portal addition at running back would allow for the offense to be multifaceted and maybe even elite. Yet I did not factor in the fact that the offensive playbook starts and ends with inside zone. When I used to say the O-line should let guys through and let Lenore's run around, I didn't think that they would hear me, let alone take it to heart and apply it on every single play. I've tried my best efforts to will this team into competence, but all my efforts have failed. With Alabama, the hottest team in the country, as Duska called them, a buzzsaw, coming into town this week after historically beating 5 top 16 teams in a row, all hope seems lost. It looks like a typo here. But with all of that being said, and DeBoer on all of DeBoer's struggles on the road against unranked teams as a double-digit favorite, yeah, something's wrong. I will be taking my boots to Columbia, South Carolina, where I will be on the ground to watch SC cover the 13.5 points and win the game outright, where my boots will actually be on the ground after an epic field storm. Go Cox.
Beautiful.
That was really beautiful. I love how you started with saying you're sorry for being delusional and leading people astray, and then you ended with being delusional and leading people astray. So it's
There's not
wonderful.
delusion. This is fact-based arguments. He has not won on the road in the SEC as a double-digit favorite against an unranked team. He's
No,
not.
I understand. No. That is a fact in itself. But them winning is just really hard for me to see. But dude, as always, wave it.
Well, I told you, we just said it. They're saving film. I
We're
have to
gonna
go
unload the clip
myself
this week.
to be there to turn things around. I'm taking action.
You are taking action. I'm glad. Arch, do you want to fire up the Superdog? And do you have the RB of the week set? I'll do Superdog. Do you have the RB of the week thing ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, head editor.
Our editor was on top of it this week and wasn't being an idiot.
Nice.
Good job
Great job.
Do you want me to go
to
ahead
the
and get it?
editor. Credit to the editor.
No. Wait, we'll do Superdog, which was just a pitiful performance from everybody except Dustin.
Honestly, everything last week was pitiful. Pick 'em, horrible.
I was 2-2. Oh, dude, for the first time, me versus the board worked. Vandy versus
Yeah,
LSU.
Duska jinxed us.
Yeah,
you
sorry.
jinxed
That was on me.
You jinxed me versus the board.
It was really on the LSU.
No,
line.
that
wasn't
worked.
on us.
That worked once.
Did it?
The board. I had A&M against Notre Dame. That was like the one time I think it
No.
worked.
No, I was
Oh,
talking
no,
about when
just
it's
me.
us three versus.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Florida and then Texas.
Yeah.
that's right.
The Utah, we were all square on Duke and Utah. That was like
Duke should have won that. Oh, good God. That 99-yard touchdown they gave up when they were on the – you can't win
14.
a football game.
Yeah,
You can't win
that's
a football
literally
game when that
14 points
happens.
right there.
Yeah, I was at a tailgate and I thought it was a typo. I thought ESPN like put this point on the wrong team, and then I looked and I was like, no, they did it.
So you saw that through the ESPN filter. That's the worst. Seeing like
They
that.
actually they had two drives in the red zone where they came away with 0 points, and then they gave away 7 as well. So potential 21-point swing for Duke there.
We were right. Barcade literally went off, and we said that
Barcade's awesome.
he's real good.
Yeah, I love that kid. Literally, if you made me just way better, and if you put me in like the Captain America like thing in the
chamber.
Yeah, the chamber. That's Cooper Barcade. All right, Superdog USC plus 9.5. What a shame. They were up 24-22, and they ended up losing, or was it 24-21? Whatever. They were up USC later in the game, and then Notre Dame kind of stormed back in the fourth and won it. And
Jeremiah Love show.
Literally,
They ran back the kick.
dude, 9.5. It was 10. Sad. UNLV.
Also, who had the Jadarian Price shout on the pod? Great shout.
Me.
Oh, I did. I think me and Shaq did.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I said I liked watching him play because he's like probably the best
Yeah.
running back too in America.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Great shout.
Actually, Arch was. We were on that early in the year too. We talked about how like that guy would probably start for most.
I think we talked about it after the A&M game because he
we did.
feasted in that one.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He's great. But there,
Yeah.
I also
Their
like how
defense was just even worse.
Notre Dame is on offense. Like they have a bunch of weapons that Malachi Fields at receiver, the UVA transfer, Faison, both the backs. They always got like tight ends coming out there. So yeah, CJ Carr looks good. So
Except for that pick. That was insane.
yeah. But Mayava
But
and
he's,
Mayava and USC, like dude, tough in the rain. They played well until the fourth
full
quarter.
environment in South Bend.
Yeah. UNLV, Sam, you want to talk about that?
Nope.
Okay.
Lifeless.
Who they lose to?
Boise. Lifeless effort. Never a chance. Next.
Caleb, Charlotte. What happened there?
Like Sam said, never a chance, lifeless.
But Army.
America won.
America.
Or America covered. They didn't
covered.
win.
Did you say?
not
Did you say?
covered.
Did you see the way Tulane scored with like a minute left?
No.
dude, they hit like an Army player, and the ball like bounced and tipped into the air, and then the Tulane guy caught it for a touchdown.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Dude, they got some sweet unis coming this week. Tulane does.
Yeah,
Oh, so Army
Great
should have
cover,
won.
though.
Army could have won. Arch.
yeah, no, like they were tied.
Oh,
I'm gonna find the clip.
I don't want to say I'm
Yeah.
hot on Super Dogs, but
you are.
I am.
Maybe I can like screen mirror? Is that allowed?
Screen share. Yeah.
Screen share screen.
Yeah.
Host disabled. Good job, Chuck.
It's because he's recording.
Yeah,
recording.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Just send the link in the
Everyone,
chat.
yeah, everyone go look
fact.
it up.
Big brain opportunity right here. Yeah, that's brutal. Dusk, I don't think I'd want to see this if I was you. If I had real hard-earned coin on that, I think I'd be pretty
Yeah, I had
upset.
0 eyes on this game and zero stake in the wallet.
Check that link out.
You're just gonna record on the pod. Oh no! Wow. They could have kicked a field goal though.
My browser tried to make me sign into Instagram.
Come
It's
on,
ridiculous.
Instagram.
Dude, do I need to send a better link?
No. I'm just looking for it now. Just let's keep moving on. I'll watch it.
So, Arch, do you want to do the greatest segment in all of sports television?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see. Let's get this thing up and moving. Got to find out where the editor sent it to me. So our running back of the week this week is none other than Mr. Mark Gronowski, Mr. FCS, with a valiant effort. 9 carries, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns as they knocked off Penn State. And I think the best play of the game for him was when he pulled it and then slid, and that's when they knew the game was over. Just fantastic effort from him. Here's the graphic. Mr. FCS in the middle. Got to give him a shout. Probably one of the best FCS quarterbacks of all time. Took a while to find the footing in the FBS, but
Not his
he
fault.
found it again.
It's not his fault.
Yeah, not his fault. Kind of could be, but we're going to say it's not for this.
Well-
So valiant effort for him. Let's build on it, Mark.
Yeah,
He did throw for 10,000 yards in FCS.
yeah.
Slept
the-
on.
His arm works. It's just when when they make you cut your UCL off when you go to when you enter the Iowa building. We've talked about this a lot. We've talked a lot of Iowa quarterback play stuff. So I'm not gonna get fired up about it, but I'm glad his legs still work. Good job, Mark.
Congrats. Holding it down
Big
for the
ups.
Polacks.
Oh, is he Polish?
I mean, I would assume so. With a last name like that.
Oh, that's great. That is great. All right. We've got some pick'em to do. So this pod has been a little long. We're trying to be within the 2-hour range. So we're going to save the playoff predictions till next podcast. And what we're going to do this podcast is we're going to, so Sam, you're saying the plan is what?
Well, I feel like next week we'll have less to recap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you said that, I was just texting that in the thing. I just have that call before work. I have to be at the office at like 7 tomorrow.
Oh, so you just want to get to bed earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. We got Sam has a real job here. So, we want to be respectful of that at the Fourward Pass podcast. So yeah, we'll do the playoff predictions later. And this one, we'll just do some of the big games that we want to hit. We've got Ole Miss, Oklahoma. We've got Ole Miss going to Oklahoma. Another tough road spot for Ole Miss. What do you guys think about this game? To me, Oklahoma does have one of the best offenses in the country. They're ranked first in total yards, passing yards, third in rushing yards, second in points, third and third down percentage. So really good offense going against a mediocre at best defense. But also Ole Miss's offense is no slouch, and they actually run the ball far better than Oklahoma's offense. So coaching matchup, I'm excited for this because you got Brent Venables, who he is a schematic wizard on defense. Him, Kirby Smart, those are some of the thought leaders of like our sport right now in college football. And then Lane Kiffin is a thought leader with like Lincoln Riley as like offensive gurus go and knowing offensive football. So this will be a fun, just like the Kirby Smart Ole Miss, the Kirby Smart Lane Kiffin battle. This will also be a fun coaching battle between Venables and Ole Miss. I'm going with Ole Miss here. They are a 4.5-point dog, though.
Yeah, I think this is actually kind of a bad matchup for Ole Miss because I think that Oklahoma is going to be able to get theirs on offense, and this defense is just so good. I also look at a little some of the external factors in this game, how this team's going to be ready to go for this week. It's going to be a tough environment in Norman. I think that sometimes in these games where it's like a team when they struggle to run the ball faces a bad run defense, usually that team that struggles to run the ball is able to get theirs. I think Oklahoma is going to be able to do that here. I think they win this game pretty handily, and where it's not really in doubt. I think we could see a little bit of Ole Miss regression. I just really worry about Chambliss's confidence after pretty bad end of that Georgia game.
I'm going to go with Ole Miss here. I don't think Oklahoma has the weapons to expose Ole Miss's defense as well as Georgia did. I think Napier will get his. Kind of just trusting Ole Miss's offense more than I think I trust Oklahoma's defense after seeing what they did during the Texas game when they played pretty comparable athletes. So I think Ole Miss is going to go in there and get it done.
Yeah, it's hard for me to get a good feel on this one. I agree with Sam. I think a lot of this game hinges on if Oklahoma has a threat of being able to run the ball and carrying over some of the things they did against South Carolina into this game. Napier also is probably getting healthier as the weeks go on, and you could see a little performance bump with that happening. So I'm leaning towards Oklahoma, but it's hard to pick against Ole Miss just because they'll get theirs on offense and be able to put up points in this game. And it's harder to trust OU being able to respond to that. And there's a lot of questions surrounding their offense, and there has been all year. I generally would trust their defense though to be able to find a way to get stops. They're just super physical and have been pretty impressive for the most part. So tough selection. I'm in the middle of both. I'm just gonna lean Oklahoma to home game. I think defenses usually play better in general at home. So I'll take Oklahoma in this one and hope that they're able to produce some on offense. But I'm not very confident in that selection.
Arch, question. Instead of Kansas State, Kansas, do you want to do Illinois, Washington?
Yeah, we can do that. I was adding like some close spreads.
Illinois, Washington is 4.5.
Yeah, we can do that one.
It gives us a Big Ten something on the board.
Yeah.
What a putrid slate.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing Texas A&M LSU either.
Would you like to? Which
Would
one
you guys,
would you take
would you,
off?
Would you rather be Mizzou, Vandy, or Texas A&M LSU?
Mizzou Vandy's game day, so we should probably keep that.
All right, I'm with it. And then you want to keep BYU, Iowa State?
Brother,
I'd probably rather Texas A&M LSU.
Same.
yeah, I agree.
We've had a lot of Iowa State on the pick'em too, so
Some would say too much.
all right, let's get this thing back on track. Illinois, Washington. All right. We've got 2 5-2 football teams. I believe how many conference losses do each of them have, Archer?
2,
Yeah,
and
both.
Illinois has 2, I believe.
Yeah, I was about to say they both have 2 um, conference losses. Do you guys have any thoughts on this game? Who wants to go first here?
Washington is going to feast in the air. They're going to feast on the ground. Good get right spot after kind of a tough last few weeks for Washington. Well, I mean, last week going to the big house. I mean, they kind of gave that game away, but a lot of turnovers and just unfortunate. I think Illinois' defense is not very good. So I think the Washington's going to be able to capitalize on that and use their offense to get a victory here.
Illinois' offense a little bit lopsided as well. They're 112th in rushing yards. They're not all that good at passing either. They're in the 50s. So I don't have a ton of faith in the unbalanced Illinois offense, especially going to Seattle to play this game. I've been a big Washington guy. I've been a big Damon Williams. He was our RB of the week last week. Tough week this week, but looking ahead, I believe in him. I believe in Denzel Boston. I do think an X factor of this game, he's always an X factor, is Illinois could have the better QB in this game. I do like Damon Williams, but Illinois Luke Altmaier could definitely outplay him in this game. And if he does, watch out. The Illini have a pretty good receiving core. They've got that one kid from, I think his name's Hudson Clement. He is from WVU. They've got Colin Dixon, he's number 17, and then they have Hank Beatty, number 80, who has 617 receiving yards. So he's their bell cow receiver. They struggled to run the football, as I've said. So Washington, I like Denzel Boston. What's that back's name, Arch? I like that back.
Jonah Coleman.
Oh, Jonah Coleman. And Jonah Coleman sneaky leads the team. He's second in receptions on the team. So
do it all.
Yeah, I'm on Washington in this game. Dude, with all these predictions, like it's who really knows? We can't predict the future, but I guess I'm more cheering for Washington, and I've supported Jed Fish as the new coach out there. So
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with you guys. I think that, like Art said, Illinois' defense is not gonna be able to keep up with Washington. One thing that is gonna play to Illinois' advantage in this game, though, 12:30 local kick in Seattle, which is 3:30 Eastern time. So that's good for Illinois. Their body clocks aren't going to be messed up, and we've kind of seen that a little bit with some of these weird start times. So that'll be the one thing playing in their favor just externally. But I think home field advantage here for Washington. Illinois' defense has been pretty spotty. So give me Washington and then a Damon Williams get right game, and maybe that breakout game that we've been waiting for him to have against ranked team like Illinois.
Yeah, there's yet to be a game I've been impressed all too much with the physicality of Illinois. And I think that was something they were planning on hanging their hat on. You mentioned their rushing rankings, and it's not all that impressive. I did watch Washington go into Maryland and have a really gritty, culture defining win in their comeback there against Maryland. I don't know what I just said, but great win against Maryland when they came back.
No, you did. Gritty culture defying. You were right.
Yeah, exactly. Gritty culture defining win in Maryland. I don't know if I said that part, but yeah, Damon Williams, every time I've watched him play, I've just been like, wow, that guy's really, really fast and impressive and fun to watch play quarterback. So generally I'd like to back that in my selection. So I'll ride with the Huskies as well.
All right, so I'm going to try
forward.
to stray away from like the last what we did the last 2 segments with like the pick'em, but just storylines for the Vandy Mizzou game. I don't think America understands like this is so impressive, like what Clark Leahy has done at Vanderbilt, and I just kind of want to bounce a couple questions off. Like this is kind of a Sam Perry hypothetical, but is Clark Leahy going to be a poaching like a coach that may be poached for one of these big time jobs? And I know he's a Vandy alum, right? But
yeah, he is.
Everybody's got a number, and we saw James Franklin do this kind of with Vanderbilt. Like there's been precedent set on like have success at Vandy, get hired elsewhere. So I'm just wondering. I just wanted to throw that out there, and it's because it's so impressive what Clark Lee has done, and um, yeah, I just wonder. Like, is he? I wonder. Is the question like, is he on people's boards and on people's radars?
I
Yeah,
think
I'm
so.
surprised that his name's not being thrown around.
Right? I feel like we haven't heard it that much.
I just don't know who would offer him. Like Arkansas, I could see, but does he think Arkansas is a better job than Vanderbilt? I just don't think that he would. He's pretty low on the Florida list, in my opinion. I think he should be like 8 or 9 of the people that they.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Penn State, low.
I think he'd do pretty good at Penn State because, like, I don't know.
There's
I mean,
better
then he'd really
candidates, though.
be. Then he'd really be just falling in the James Franklin arc.
Yeah.
But I
I
mean,
I
don't like that
question
argument
why
though.
I question why you would leave your alma mater to go to Penn State though.
yeah, he's a. I
That's
think
not that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound like that interesting or intriguing.
Yeah.
especially when you just saw what Penn State did after you had like 2 bad games in a or
Yeah,
3 bad games in a row. Like,
And they fire you.
that's
yeah.
another underrated piece of the Penn State hiring process. You see that happen to James Franklin, and he was there for 12 years. Like he was there for a long time, and they just lost a 3-game stretch, and you immediately get
Bailed.
axed. Like,
Yeah.
does that make
Also-
you? Does that make you excited to jump in the waters with Penn State?
Also, that just like it shows that they're just not accepting like average anymore. So it's like, so you're really just like
Yeah.
you're gambling by taking
Your
that.
leash is so short,
Yeah,
especially if you're a guy like Clark Lee, because that's not like a huge name for everyone, even
They
though
could
he's
lose-
had
yeah.
a lot of success.
they could lose game 1 to like a ranked team, in his tenure there, and people would already be calling for his head. So like,
Yeah. Dude, you literally lose if you go 6-5 your first year. You know, how much patience are they going to have? Because they just came off of 3 New Year's Six Bowls appearances, so 6-5 doesn't sound all that appetizing.
34-8 in the last 3 years.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Duska. Also, I kind of wanted to talk about, like, dude, I have no idea. That's really cool that they do the speed guard and the power guard.
Yeah,
And so, do they? I don't know how much you like know of this. Like, is there like a tendency to run their different schemes to like a certain side? Like,
I'd have to look into
what
it
is
more,
like
but
what? I'd love to know like why.
I assume it's just I have to look into it more. But it could be a field boundary thing. It could be the specific schemes, like you want one guy pulling more than the other.
Yeah, but then
Um,
that'd be a tell. But I guess
yeah,
if you
100%.
but if you run, it depends on what you run because you could just short pull to like the boundary if you're the speed guard or
Yeah.
instead of pulling to like on your normal counters or
I
powers.
think it's also interesting because just offensive line play in general, I find it because I've done it a little bit this year, like playing both sides is like it's underrated how different it is to play on the left side and the right side. So I think it's very unique, very interesting. I definitely want to dive deeper into and see what the reasoning is behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I would assume it's kind of tailored towards their scheme, and maybe there's one guy they like to have in
do you
space
think the
more,
power guy
or
they
one
like?
guy that you like to have on the play side more, like
Yeah.
in double teams, stuff like that. So
Is
I
this
have
the
to do
first year
more
they've done it
research
too?
on it.
Because
I don't think so. I think I've heard of them doing it before. I just haven't
wow,
really
that's
looked
really
into it
cool.
that much. Yeah.
Because like
But
I
yeah,
wonder
it is pretty
your
cool.
speed guard, like you'd want him run stretch to that side or run like where he has to go reach guys
Yeah.
or
But at the same time, like having a guy on the back, like having a quick player on the backside is potentially even more important, like
yeah, you're right. You're
in
right.
some zone schemes.
So
So
maybe
like,
it depends.
yeah. So yeah,
But
it's very dependent. So like I'm curious as to why
but
they
that's
do
why
it,
you
like
usually
the
play
reasoning
left and
behind
right
it.
guard. You know, that's
Yeah,
usually why they do
100%.
that. It's
Well,
because it's
that's
like
why there's probably 135 teams that do that, and then
yeah,
Vandy might just
exactly.
be
This
unique
is
in that way.
so
Yeah,
fascinating. I find
yeah.
this
I
because
have to
they're
look
the
into it
only
more.
team in football that does this. I've never even
Yeah,
heard of it before, which is so
yeah.
that's like revolutionary. I wonder if this is like something that like catches on in football. Like, is this like gonna be like, is this like Nikola Tesla finding electricity, or is this just something Clark Lee does in his
If
offense?
I was an offensive line coach, which I would like to be in high school at some point, I wouldn't do this personally
Yeah,
because your run schemes, like you can run them both ways. So
yeah,
if you want to take advantage of a specific matchup, like you can still do that with your
Yeah.
guards playing in the same.
But I'm sure
And they also they might do it with the tackles too. I'm not 100% sure. Like
that'd be crazy.
I have
To
to I
play
have to
right
look
and
into
left
it more.
tackle, like you have to pass that differently in the same
Yeah,
game. Like
exactly. Yeah,
that's really hard.
which is tough. So I don't think they do it with their tackles, but they definitely do it with their guards, which is unique.
Yeah. Dude, I want, dude, I love to get like a glass of wine into Clark Lake and just like, dude, ask him, I get on the whiteboard. Like, dude,
Yeah.
get on the whiteboard. I'm sure it's so
I'm
impressive.
gonna look into it more
Okay.
and I'll have some answers for next pod.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, let's do that. Let's do that. I got Vandy this week though, guys.
Yeah, I got Vandy too, with all that being said.
Yeah, Mizzou.
Mm.
Agree. I think that when you play in these tough slugfest games like Mizzou just was last week, I think that shows a lot about an identity of a team. And even though they didn't look great, I think that you build momentum off of adversity like that. And Drinkwitz has done that throughout his career. So for that reason, I'm taking Missouri.
On the flip
Chuck,
side, what'd you say?
a little nugget about Vandy. Their OC is Tim Beck. And he used to be the old Pittsburgh State head coach with the Gorillas.
Wow. How about
10
that?
years, won a D2 national title. So he's the mastermind, him and Jerry Kill, about their option-ish style offense and power schemes,
Dude, that's
which I thought was
awesome.
pretty cool because
That's
they
awesome.
brought him over with the resurgence of Vandy, honestly. Tim Beck's kind of behind it.
Dude, that's really cool. That's really so he's like an option premise guy.
Yeah, him and Jerry Kill was the New Mexico State head coach whenever Pavi was there and they beat Auburn. And
Yeah.
they ran like a power option, like spread option kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they brought Kill over as like an offensive, like senior offensive analyst, like some stupid title. Basically, he's not the OC, but he just kind of like controls it. But then Tim Beck is the actual OC. And that's what they ran at New Mexico State.
And okay, one thing is like I do feel I watched like New Mexico State play Liberty, I think, in the championship, and I remember watching that game, and it was very like optiony, like it was very collegey. I feel like they've added a lot of really good layers and depth to this offense. Like when you watch it, there's traditional pass concepts, like you see a deep cross concept, like you see I don't know. I feel like they've layered it on. Like I liked the leaker route they ran with number 16, like on that like explosive play he had, and the touchdown. Like it seems like more than the option, which you were always gonna have to do in the SEC. Like this is some real football, but this LSU defense was like no joke, and they did a really good job running through it. So, and the flip side of what Sam was saying, like how like an unimpressive win for Missouri maybe like shows you about the grit. Well, I think like an impressive win like this might show you that like this offense may actually be really hard to stop. And uh so yeah, I'm going with Vandy. Uh yes, Duska, we got to get more information on this and I'd like to talk about it
I'm
more.
doing some quick research. So
Okay.
it looks like so they call it strong and quick. So the strong side will play to the tight end in their like formation alignments. So like they move their tackles and guards based off of So they flip the tackle and guard based off where the tight end is. So the strong side they play in alignment with the tight end, and the quick side would be like the empty side of the set.
Yeah.
And it says that they do it just to take advantage of specific matchups. So they do try to pull or use their quick side more in pulling or like more stretchy type plays. But it also says that they have to run like whatever advantage they would want to whatever advantage they would want to have with the quick or strong side, like they also have to do the opposite sometimes just to keep the other team guessing. So like
Yeah.
I guess it's only it would be like team dependent and install dependent, like based on the week. But I mean, I also was just read that like most teams, if you go back like 30 years, most teams used to do this, like switch the side of their offensive line. Like it wasn't until I guess like 20 years ago the team started playing guys on specific sides, and the offensive line coach they have there now has been doing this for 36 years. So he was at Louisville when Lamar Jackson was there, and they did the same exact thing. They had like a strong and a quick side based off the tight end alignment. So interesting stuff. And it's very interesting they switched the tackles. I would assume on like third and pass situations that whatever tackle plays the typical side, like they go back to that. But for base downs, it seems like they're trying to take advantage of matchups with guys they have on the strong and quick side.
Dude,
So
that's so awesome that like
it's
there's
pretty innovative, pretty
the
cool.
option premise of dude, this comes from like the veer from like the 90s. Like that's so cool. And they're re-implementing it back.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing as you schematics in football is like so wonderful. Like what Mike Leach did for football is will like forever like what he gave to the game of football with the spread with the oh my gosh. Come on.
Air raid.
Air raid, yeah, with the air raid, like, dude, look at the Mike Leach coaching tree. It's unbelievable. And like all the quarterbacks that he's coached, and the air raid principles are flowing in pro football and college football. Um, so wonderful. It's just like Dante Scarnecchia, offensive line, like coaching, like he's the old Pats offensive line coach. Whatever. It's just so cool to like think about like just scheme and the Saban scheme, the Belichick scheme on defense, and you know how they've kind of adopted to, um, a lot of teams used to just play like straight up coverages where like if you're playing cover three, like there's very simple rules to like playing cover three, but now it's like they will match and they'll cut players. Like so if one player like moves from one zone to the other, like the defensive backs can like roll down and like replace each other in the middle of the play. Like it's how football has evolved. Like Terry Bradshaw used to get in the huddle and he said like there's a good clip of him being like sometimes like we'd run a play and then I'd just be like, yo, Lynn, like we'll just run that same play, except I want you to run a corner this time in the huddle. Ready? And like, dude, you just go do it. And they won 4 Super Bowls doing that. And now it's like football is not like that in the slightest anymore. It's so intricate, and like all these coaches are just wizards on the whiteboard. So it's just cool to see like how the game evolves. But that was a huge deep dive. Hey, Texas A&M LSU. Uh, Brian Kelly, Mike Elko. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Give me the Aggies. I'm just not gonna.
LSU.
I won't root for. I just won't. I don't pick based on like what I like think's gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I just pick for like, all right, who do I want to root for in this game? I want to root for Texas A&M. So
I like LSU at home, Death Valley at night. Wounded
Yeah.
animal mode. Seems like there's like a weird theme going on this year of like every time a team's so down. It's
do they
fun.
know about Casey Concepcion? And what's the other guy? Mississippi State transfer?
Mario Craver.
Mario
Mario Craver.
Craver. Do they know about him? They do got Delane though. He might be the best corner in the draft coming up, number 4.
Yeah, I think that I'm leaning towards A&M here. I think that Cassius Howe against these LSU tackles is a huge mismatch, and Nussmeier is going to be under duress all game like he was last week. And I wanted to say that A&M's defense is pretty good, and they played well this season. They had a tough time handling Petrino and Arkansas last week, but they have shown the ability to be more stout against the run and just play better overall defensively against strong rushing teams like Notre Dame and Florida. So I'm gonna bank on the Arkansas performance being a bit of a one-off. And yeah, like you were saying, the A&M offense has been super explosive, and I expect that trend to continue against LSU. And I said a lot about the lack of identity and the hollowness of the LSU program under Brian Kelly. So I can't immediately go against that and pick against A&M. So I'm gonna take the Aggies to win and to cover.
Yeah, I don't know how it happens, but I think LSU gets it done. Don't ask me how, because I think they're not very good, but who knows?
Sam, good luck at your work call tomorrow. Thank
Oh
you.
no, it's not like a crazy work call. It's
No,
just
I know. No, I was just saying
it's
good
a
luck.
it's a it's a kid that wants to work there.
Oh, so you're giving back to the community.
Sure.
Wow.
Respect.
What a guy.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Wow.
brownie points
Giving
for my
back.
manager.
Wow. Just giving back. Love it, Sam. Good job giving back. And
Super Dogs. Anybody got their pick already?
oh,
I'll go first. Well, Sam, I assume yours is going to be South Carolina. Yeah. I'm taking the UNC Tar Heels plus 10.5 versus Virginia.
Ooh.
that's spicy.
Cover your nose.
That is spicy. I'm going Syracuse, 17.5, Georgia Tech.
That was my second pick. Love
Dude,
that.
I had one picked out earlier, but I totally forgot which one I wanted.
That
You guys
Kentucky
buy,
one was
buy me
speaking
like
to
20 seconds.
Who's Kentucky?
What do you guys do you think
Tennessee.
any intrigue on
Kennesaw State's been playing well.
any intrigue on UCLA, Indiana? I think that'll just be an interesting game to keep an eye
Yeah,
on.
big noon game. Could be interesting.
I feel like that's the game that everyone gets reminded who at UCLA is. I feel
Yeah.
like Sig's going to want to beat them up.
He's gonna want to. Yeah, I agree. But it'll just. It's I'm happy for UCLA that they're not horrid.
Yeah, that Indiana UCLA game last year was one that I remember that's when they were a 3-point favorite. It was the same day as the South Carolina LSU game. And that was the first test, I guess, for Indiana. And they beat them by 40. And you're like, well, maybe they do have something. So.
Duska, you got something?
Yeah, I can't remember the one I was looking at earlier. So there was another one I saw that I
Old Dominion
was
at
intrigued
State.
by.
If you remember it, we can change it. But whatever you
Okay.
got for now.
Yeah, Minnesota just had a big win against Nebraska at home, and they're traveling to Kinnick Stadium, Iowa City, this Saturday. So they're 8.5-point dogs. So I'll row the boat with Minnesota
Now,
And,
one stipulation though, Duska.
and PJ Fleck.
If
What?
the line moves to 7.5, you have to repick.
I
it.
keep 8.5.
Wait, do I get
No,
13 and a half?
no.
Arch?
You have to repick.
Oh,
Yeah, you get
you have to
13 and a half.
repick. You have to repick.
okay.
Don't you agree? Because it's no longer a 7. It's
Yeah.
no longer,
Yeah. No,
it's
that's
it's,
fine.
It's
That's
got to
fine.
be an 8-point spread.
That's
I
fine.
think they're 8.5-point dogs in that game.
Yeah, right? It's kind of a jokester spread.
Do you guys know that what this trophy's called in this game?
It's a golden boot, right?
No.
I don't know. What is it?
Oh, it's the axe. Is it with an axe?
No, it's the pig. The Floyd Rosendale trophy.
Yeah. I had a creative player out in Minnesota back in the day, and we won that pig before. It was actually
I'll stick with Minnesota tentatively, and
Okay.
then
nice. All right, I like
if it moves, I'll select another team.
fellas.
I was going all black uniforms, by the way.
Does that move you, Duska, or no?
We don't fear that. We don't fear that in Minnesota.
It's fake juice.
PJ Fleck brings real juice. And wins a lot of games. Usually.
Oh shit. Yeah,
We're deep right now.
Yeah, we're deep. All right, hey, listen,
It's
guys.
been an eventful show.
Great show. Just keeps getting more fun each time. So, guys, thank you for listening. We will be back next week after the week 9 slate of games. So, have a great week, everybody. God bless, and watch some college football this weekend.
Peace.
I will be. All right.
Cheers, guys. Good show. Thank you to our listeners. If you're still listening, drop in the comments who you think is going to win the World Series. Dodgers or Blue Jays.
The poor Mariners, dude. My goodness. That was so sad.
I think it was confirmed that it was Julio Rodriguez in that video. The guy yelling in the locker room. Ah!
And the guy threw 7 balls.
So funny.
Oh, damn.
That's like
That sucks.
That's usually performative, and you always laugh in a football locker room when guys make
Yeah.
noise like that
Yeah.
after
A
you're
loss.
losing or they have lose a rep or whatever. But I feel like it's warranted in
That was a big
situation.
loss.
Losing
Dude, they're
game
up
7.
3-1.
Yeah.
Up
Yeah.
3-1.
Wasn't Julio Rodriguez the last out
He was
too?
the last
Yeah.
strikeout,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So
Dude, and he
Warranted.
swung it. 3 balls.
He had a double and a homer in the game.
He's trying to make something happen.
And dude, he needed to make something happen. There were nobody on, 2 outs.
No, I'm not blaming him at all. It was just unfortunate
Yeah.
that
Would have loved to see
dude,
the big
3-2,
dumper
you're not
get
going to
that.
take that pitch no matter what.
Yeah. Would have loved to see Cal Raleigh getting that bat with Julio on first.
That home run was so sick though.
Springer. Dude, legacy defining home run. Like, you can never be like, oh, cheater. Like, well, I mean, you can say cheater, but like it just there's less merit to it now because that was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
That was like Harper in the Phillies run.
Yeah.
Like all the lead up to that, like Joe Davis, best in the game, lead up whole thing and just nuke.
Oh, Duska, you're a little maybe you need a little Wi-Fi.
I messed up.
You're frozen on our screen. Oh, you're back. Okay, here.
Okay. All right, I was about to say the only thing I don't like about announcers in those moments is when he goes like, "Oh, and now he has his Jose Bautista moment." It's like,
I didn't
dude,
like that either.
this moment's like way cooler. Like this is to send them to the World Series. Like Joey Bats never took the Jays to the World Series. Like sick bat flip. Like that was in the ALDS though. And like that didn't win them the series. Like it's a little different.
They still lost that series.
Yeah, exactly. So like
Yeah.
This is a way bigger.
Yeah.
I do love Joe
Also,
Davis.
It's Jose Bautista moment.
Also,
Pirates legend.
Yeah, Joey Bats, Pirates legend. Also, Vladdy being his OPS being like 1.5 is ridiculous, and that's
The real World Series was the NLDS between the Dodgers and Phillies, and the Dodgers are gonna roll the Blue Jays, and
Shane Duska.
What do you say?
I don't know,
I just heard.
but I'm sure he's agreeing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said have some shame.
I have no shame when it comes to the Phillies. I'm still depressed.
Dude, every year they get the bye. It's just not a good thing.
No.
The Dodgers
Shout out
are
to George Kirby though. I thought he pitched well.
dude, he did. I thought they were gonna
Shoved. Elon legend.
Yeah, I wish
Actual Elon legend.
I wish like college. I was just thinking about this. I wish like baseball did a better job like representing colleges. Like, dude, in the NFL, like there's always like if you put the player bio up, like the college is always on there.
Yeah.
But like for baseball, they never do that. So like I
It's
want
just usually because
for
they're like so far removed.
But dude, it doesn't matter. They still have a lot of pride for the.
I
dude,
agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody cares about the 5-year stint in Altoona for the Curve.
That's true.
Like they don't care.
The fact that Elon University had a first round pick in the MLB amateur draft is like
insane.
that's absurd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait to
Yeah.
see Mitro just shove for the Twins one day.
Twins.
Yeah, and Sprock at third. That'll be sick.
Little double Elon action
That'd be
on
awesome.
the Twins.
Yeah,
We'll see if that happens.
or they just get both traded to the Pirates.
Okay.
But yeah,
Don't say their name.
All right, guys, let's get out of here. We always just never end the podcast, so I'm stopping the recording.